What's
do.
the common denominator
I know.
here? Emma's the problem.
Emma's the problem, but
Well, Peter's also the problem.
Peter's also the problem.
no,
but
they're all
if you
terrible, terrible people.
Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
Hello and welcome to Your Mom's Podcast, the only podcast that's worth walking out on a date with one of Degrassi's coolest girls. I'm Caroline,
I'm Avis.
and today we are joined by our dear friend and friend of the pad, Lori Beth Denberg, to discuss Degrassi Season 6, Episodes 1 and 2. Here Comes Your Man, Parts 1 and 2. Hey, LB.
Hi, LB.
Ah.
How are
Thank you for having me. I'm good. I feel very prepared because I really put some effort in, I feel like, to be prepared for this podcast.
You
I
really
heard.
did.
I heard
Yes.
all the best things.
Yes. I
That
wanted
you
to
wanna
Do you want
hear.
to tell our listeners a little bit about that journey?
Yes. Well, I knew that we would be discussing Season 6, Episodes 1 and 2. So I felt it prudent to watch all 5 seasons of the original Degrassi Junior High and Degrassi High series and the movie School's Out, and the first 5 seasons in their entirety of Degrassi The Next Generation. So I'm very up to date and invested in where we're at right now.
Can I ask, do you have any theories on Heather Sinclair?
Heather Sinclair, I think it took me a few mentions to really get it, because what I did was and Avis, Caroline might have relayed some of this to you, but I kind of, would text her during my journey through the whole thing and kind of live tweet certain, stuff that was going on and be like, what the fuck? Or like, OMG.
Yeah,
I think my favorite one was when I was like, OMG, what did I say? Wheels is bowling. Wheels broke out of jail to go bowling with Cancer Snake. That was, I think, one of my favorite ones. But
Wheels really does just show up and Snake is bald and he's like, I killed a kid, I drove drunk, and then just leaves and doesn't.
Yeah, because he had to go back to jail. Maybe it's Canada, and because they're so polite, he was like, hey, can I have a 2-day furlough, because my friend has cancer and I need to make him feel better. And the guards were like, you've been pretty cool so far, Wheels. We're going to let you go, but you just be back on Monday.
You just be back. It's the honor system. I was saying that, though. I forget what happened. I was like threatening to do petty crimes in Canada. And I'm like, I don't want to be escorted to probably a moderately cozy Canadian prison.
Right.
And then as soon as we crossed the border, it was just like, I don't want to be thrown into a New York prison cell. Like, I'm just, let me get my ass home. Or I could be thrown into a Jersey prison cell.
Right?
Yeah, because that's any better.
At least I'm down the street. But yeah, that's Heather Sinclair.
Heather Sinclair. Oh yeah, I couldn't remember what the question was, but that was one of my things. Was like Degrassi has an invisible fat girl, because it was like the one that I meant. The one that I heard was like where'd all the cheese go? Or like Heather Sinclair ate all the cheese. And then I realized I'd heard her name before, and I'm like, she's just an invisible girl that they pin everything on.
So I have a theory with Heather Sinclair because really the only person, like other people reference her, but the only person who really consistently says like nasty shit about her is Paige.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that she's just like Paige's enemy.
I don't know. And then there was the mini. Did you already do that mini?
No.
No?
But,
Okay,
but
then,
I know the mini.
Mhm.
then I will say no more at this juncture.
The Heather
Um,
Sinclair lore, but she said, I need all of the lore. I need every available scrap of this franchise so that I can, for the season 6 premiere of all premieres.
Oh, yes.
You did
Well,
not watch Kids of Degrassi Street though, right?
No, well, I'll tell you, I didn't. I should have at this point because I did watch like the first episode, which was like too cute
Mhm.
and like painful to watch. But
It's such a different.
it was so difficult. But the reason I didn't was because I hadn't started Next Generation yet.
Mm.
So I finished Degrassi, the original, which I remember from when I was a kid and it was on. Like, I remember Degrassi being a thing and just being this weird, like, they deal with these issues. Like, the only thing I can remember is the chick was pregnant. It was junior high and a chick was pregnant, but it was a thing and they were dealing with it.
Mhm.
And then Joey's hat. That's kind of where my memories of it ended. So I just chose to like start with that, which I'm really glad I did because literally the characters from that play a huge role in especially the beginning season or two
Yeah.
of the Next Generation. So I
Mhm.
really was super glad that I had that like foundation in the
It's a
Degrassi universe.
yes, it's a great foundation to have, especially since using that format of like, oh, this character's daughter, oh, this
Yep.
character's, stepson. It's very much like in the Degrassi DNA to be like, here's how we keep the universe growing. We
Yeah.
add on a family member. And I love that that's how this season or this series really starts. Even though we see Emma in Degrassi Junior High and High, but like she's an actual character and the reason why.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
she's a plot device in junior high and high.
She's a baby.
She's a baby.
She didn't
And then
have
they
that
have to
much
age her
offer.
down. They have to retcon her age. No, they age her. Yes, they age her down because she's supposed to be older. She's
Yeah,
supposed to
she'd
have been
be-
born in like 87 or 80 or 88, late 87, early 88, I think. And then they retcon her to like 89.
Yeah.
Because that's the class of 2006. Which we know because Manny says that when she's trying to get her horoscope read. So.
Oh, poor Manny.
Manny in this episode is, yeah.
So, LB, we always start with like a poem and a synopsis. I don't know why I just said poem. So
A poem.
that
Poem.
A poem. Don't
and
understate
typically
it.
we like to have our
poetry.
guests read them.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
So it'll be the roses are red poem and then the two like paragraphs.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Oh, shoot. I closed the page that you sent me.
Oh, no.
I had a really, really important Amazon package to look up. So, I mean, I don't know that you can fault me for that.
No.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, so I am to read this poem
Yes.
that encapsulates this episode. Roses are red, new year, new look, new Peter. Sean's back in town. Now Emma's a cheater. Oh, Emma, such poor choices. Although I have to say, listen, I'm not really that much fun to watch TV with because I've worked in TV and I worked in TV for a very long time. So it's hard for me to and I didn't watch this show particularly like you guys did growing up. So I didn't relate. I've never related to these characters in their own mind space.
They
That's not
never
even a
spoke
thing.
to like the pain that you were going through at the time.
Yes, me watching them now as basically a 50-year-old woman, I'm just going like, oh. But because I work in TV, I don't look at the kids going like, oh, that, because what I started telling Caroline, like, oh, I like Emma, like in seasons 1, 2, and 3, when I was texting her and we would be going back and forth. She'd be like, well,
Mhm.
who do you like? And I'm like, well, Emma's my favorite. And she was like, really? Oh wow, I think that you might get canceled for that, or so. She didn't
I
say
don't think
that.
I said that.
No, or you said it like facetiously, like the fandom's not gonna like that. And I'm like, really? Like, it's so clear to me that Emma is our hero, and that's coming right off watching Degrassi, the original, in which Spike is really just kind of the most compassionate, kind of put together character. It's kind of like
Mhm.
she went through something so crazy being pregnant at 14 or whatever,
Yeah.
that she kind of just got that people need to make mistakes and people need to do what's right for them, and it's not my place to judge. And you kind of I felt that, vibe with Emma, just kind of being her own person and standing up for herself in the first, I mean, in the first few seasons. She's clearly taken a horrible turn. But they all do, and that's why, like I said, it's not that fun to watch with me, because I'm sitting there going, the writing is really awful. Like, it's all the adults
Mhm.
creating these situations for these kids, and
Right.
it's really just distressing. I feel like I've really seen people just completely abandon everything their character has thought, felt, or stood for in the past, to just do some stupid thing because that's what this episode is about.
I want to have you back
That's
for
yes.
Emma's wedding.
Oh god, no
They
spoilers.
honestly, no, that's not
none.
that's all you get. I
Okay.
feel like they try to do the same thing that they do with Emma, with kind of retconning it to be like how they wanted Caitlyn to
Yeah.
be. That like the show loves Caitlyn, and I think that if I were to die on any hill, it's that Caitlyn is a worse character than Emma. And they tried to do Caitlyn right with Emma, because that's really the character they wanted Caitlyn to be.
Do you mean like in the first few seasons?
In the first few seasons, because of all they throw at her and all of the like integrity and just
Yeah.
like internal conflict that she goes through, they like, I think, well, I know Caroline and I both said, like, though she's not a likable character, we have to respect that she's a very well fleshed out character.
She's one of the more compelling characters. She's one of the more
Yes.
fleshed out characters.
See, and I thought she was likable. I thought she was likable in that way where you go, people with integrity and intelligence aren't popular in high school because
They
everyone
lost
else
that.
is an
I
idiot.
wish.
Oh no.
Yeah, I
Everybody,
wish they.
it's completely gone. No.
Well,
Yeah, I wish.
Here's
I
the thing
yeah,
is
I
that
think,
like
what did I call it? What did I call it, Caroline? I said at some point it turned from being Degrassi Junior High into Craig and Spinner's Fuck Academy.
yeah. Well,
Tell us you love
It's-
Craig and you always will. I do
no,
too.
I do love Craig and I always will. I'm a
No
Craig
homo.
girly. I married a Sean. I'm really glad
Maybe
I
a lot
did,
of homo.
but I'm a Craig girly. But like no, these kids exist in this weird vacuum where it's largely just the 8 of them.
Mm-hmm. Right. She's like, these kids are not popular at all.
Nobody else is
And
like
nobody likes nor cares about these kids. Yeah, I find that Emma's like a character that I like above. I respect. I can't not respect Emma, but I don't know that it's like how you were saying, oh, they kind of derail a character with an episodic idea. That's how I feel about Emma, but in the reverse. They redeem Emma with an episodic idea. And I occasionally get that like glimmer of, oh, you could be great if they didn't write you like they write you. And
Right.
they for
Yeah.
this episode, and she gets a couple of them throughout, I'm sure at this point she's maybe had a handful of them, that it's like, well, is this a great character? Is that not a great character? Because she is a great character, but is this a likable character?
Well, and you have such high hopes, like when she gets her first period, and
Mhm.
like her first date with Sean, like she does come in kind of strong on season 1, but also she's so fucking dumb.
Well, but that's being a kid.
I know,
And she
know.
has
Manny, are you crying?
she's
Sorry.
intelligent. She's intelligent, but she doesn't have experience, and she shouldn't, because she's like 13 or whatever. And
Yeah,
I don't even know if she's been bat mitzvahed yet. But
We don't get a single
we
mitzvah.
get, and there's so many Jewish people in this cast. There are so many Jewish people. There are more Jewish people, I would say.
you
than
mean
not.
you mean the actors,
The actual
yes.
actors,
Oh,
yes, not
'cause
the
there's-
characters, because there's
no.
like Toby, and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's just it.
Yeah.
And then they kind of forget that Toby's supposed to. His name is Toby Isaacs. They're like, no,
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Anglo-Saxon. No, it's very much like. I think at one point they mentioned how there was just very little religion of the actual of like what the demographic in that area is. They're just like, no.
But there's not that much religion anyway, unless it is like a plot point. Like,
Yeah.
obviously we got into last season, Spinner's second coming on
There's a lot of
Paige's
Christianity.
tits, and then Darcy
But
forgiving him,
they're
which we'll
usually
discuss.
not very positive about it.
No, the
so-
Christianity depictions are like some of the worst on this show.
I happen
but
to
also-
not.
no,
Yeah.
but then a couple of
Marco's
the-
like, I'm a Catholic. Fuck you. I go to church.
Yes, that's
you
a good
know?
depiction.
Wait, who said that?
Marco.
Marco.
And they're like
Yes,
low
yes,
key
yes.
because
Yeah.
they can be low key.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
Like, they
to say,
let you.
I did not particularly mind the less than glowing representation of the Christianity.
Well,
that was
just wait till you
espoused
get
there.
to the bakers.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say
there
the
you
bakers
actually
are.
you know what? Becky starts out sucky, but Becky wants to be Christ-like, and she like works towards figuring that shit out. Becky,
And then
Okay.
they actually when does that come? Like in like season like
11.
11?
12.
Oh dear!
Yeah.
And is
I
that
mean,
like
but-
a new family that comes to the school?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
They start having just transplants. I think
Gotcha.
the first ones that are the coins who aren't related to anybody. And they're just like, here's a dump of a family, and now we're gonna spawn people off of these people.
Gotcha. I didn't know
it's
if it was
fine.
an actual family of bakers that like opened a bakery.
Right,
And
there's the
supplied
bakers
the-
moved in and started
Yeah.
baking bread,
I'm sure glad we're supplying this school with
serving
all of
up
these
fresh
croissants.
baked offerings. They wish they had fresh baked croissants.
I feel like
Mm.
part of being a Degrassi fan is like having your own headcanon kind of, because there's a lot of blanks to fill in throughout the years.
So many blanks.
And that's part of it
Yes.
too that I think is interesting with favorite characters, is that like my Manny Santos is not your Manny Santos.
No, definitely not. That was the
Mhm.
big discussion that Caroline and I had when she was like, "Who do you like and who don't you like?" And I think I was probably around season 2 or 3,
Mhm.
and I said Emma's my favorite. Manny is, I can't even handle. She needs to be put out of her misery.
Jeez.
It's
Do you know
so
that we
difficult.
literally we gave Manny like a shining star for so many of like the season 1, 2, 3, and maybe even I think even 4.
It
Episode-
dwindled
because
a
we're-
lot by 4.
It was dwindling because she started doing some shit. But it's just like we're like in the meat, like while we can, Manuela is just a little precious cinnamon roll. And she's why do you want to hurt me? She takes so many kicks in the stomach.
Emma's so fucking mean to Manny in particular.
I don't want to be
Like
friends
how,
with the school slut.
how JT is a menace to society, and Toby in particular.
In this episode especially, Manny's just trying to live her life.
She
I-
is.
I hate what the writers have her do though, and we'll get into it. But I feel like I think what Caroline has just stood by is like Manny needs better friends, and then she will be like better.
Yeah,
Because
and
Emma
again,
like brings in
My
out the
notes
worst in
at
her.
least thrice in this episode are like in all caps, Emma does not deserve Manny.
yeah,
And like she doesn't though. Like
She doesn't.
it's really bad. All of the and I blame the writers.
oh
But
yeah,
it's
no,
so
I
bad.
mean,
All of these things that happen, and it's just like,
you
why
do
are
have
you
to blame
making
the
Manny
writers.
do this?
And
Why
I want
are
to be
you-
very clear. When I was saying I like Emma and not Manny, that was like season 2. That was before Emma had been tasked with doing horrible things. It was before the entirety of the show became about um that the only important thing at school is for girls to fill up their vaginas. That was like, it's just, sorry if that was so graphic, but it's like, and that happens in this episode too. It's just so completely focused on these, like, the important die-hard love stories of interest, and it's a bummer to me because I think that's a disservice. Like, I think that's one of the things I texted to Caroline. Like, I just want somebody to get on the PA and be like, hey everybody, kiss whoever you want, none of this matters, you're all idiots, go to class. You know, I know that that's not a salacious show that people want to tune in for and be on like Team Manny or Emma or Craig or whoever, but it's so blatant and it really comes across. But I'm gonna try not to be a huge bummer and just like live in the storyline as we discuss it.
live in this storyline is perfect.
Yes.
Is
Do
that a
you
perfect segue? Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to read the synopsis and bring us into the episodes?
Me?
Yes, you.
Yes, you.
Oh, I thought for sure you were talking to Avis because I would like.
No.
Okay.
No,
Nope, that's
because
your-
Avis would know if it was her turn.
I
Oh,
would.
okay.
We have
Hi.
a system.
After a summer of recovery, Emma is back and better than ever. That is until Sean shows up in all of his bad boy glory and threatens to send her into a self-destruction spiral. Over in the B plot, Paige, Ellie, and Marco start college, while Ashley, Jimmy, and Spin do senior year 2 Electric Boogaloo at Degrassi. And Craig discovers booger sugar in Vancouver.
Off screen.
Off screen.
Off screen, yes.
But it's coming. He's got to be trying it now.
Yeah, because by Thanksgiving.
Right. Canadian Thanksgiving, no less.
Oh,
Canadian
wait.
Thanksgiving.
Yes, exactly.
That shit's in October.
It's so fast. It's so fast approaching. Craig is absolutely dipping into the booger sugar
This
already.
is going to be hard. No, because we can't spoil shit because LB hasn't seen it.
Damn it! Well, now you
okay.
know.
Now I do know because
We'll try.
I was like, I don't remember that, but
We'll do our
okay.
best.
Yeah,
I
no,
remember that in the
It's gonna
no.
be okay.
right
it
now.
might be headcanon. Who knows?
Craig is just having a time off screen, but he's mentioned in this episode. He is.
Yeah.
But we usually do the B plots. Do we want to keep that format for season 6, or how do we feel?
Yeah, do we want to start? I guess like the B plot and the C plot were all kind of interwoven, the college years, as it were.
Which is like, how do we feel about that?
We can start there. Does that work for you, LB?
I'm at your disposal.
Beautiful.
I find it weird, and I always have, even though I love it.
I want to bring off right off the bat though our should be college freshmen. Spinner greeting Darcy with "Hey
Ugh.
Queen Bee, spare some honey," and then her saying from like
For my
pausing for
king?
way too long. Yes, please. You finish it out because I don't want to say it.
For
my king,
anytime.
anytime.
I made a note of that too about the grossness of life.
The grossness of Degrassi.
It's not okay. It's
Mhm.
not. I don't like it.
I don't like it
And
either.
I don't like him calling her Queen Bee when he called Paige Honeybee.
Yeah.
That feels pointed. Don't care for it. Be
Don't care
better,
for it
Spinner.
either. And their little, you know, I just, why is Spinner so cringy? Why do they have to up the cringe factor when there's not things going on with him and like directly?
Because he's a super senior dating a sophomore.
Like,
Ew.
why just there's I just I
Is she
can't.
still a sophomore or is she a junior now?
Oh, I guess she's a junior. Okay, but he's still
He was a regular senior dating a sophomore.
that's not much better. It's not much
No.
better. And super senior dating a junior is still not great.
No,
I
it's
feel
not.
like all the girls at Degrassi need like a special day seminar on self-esteem because like there's there's nothing good about Spinner to me. There was at one point he like, and this is the problem with the show like this, it's like people do big horrible things, and you
Mhm.
have characters doing them over and over, different things over and over, but it's like, why does she go to Christian camp and that she's not like, I forgive you. You know, she's just like, I went to Christian camp and I'm so over it. You don't even know.
Now
I
I
know that
Yeah.
I broke up
I
with
went to
you. We got back together. You fucked your old girlfriend that night,
Yeah,
lied to me that
which
I
is
was going to get a
confirmation.
present.
Mhm.
And
Right,
like,
lied to me.
like all he does,
The
all
offenses are
he's done
stacking up.
is like he did lie, he
Mhm.
did get Jimmy shot, he
Mhm.
did all of these things. Like, where was it where we got the like how great a guy Spinner is that I'm still in his corner?
And who gets all of the blame from that? Who gets the blowback? Paige. They have
Yes.
there are no words between Spinner and Darcy about what happened, even though literally their ending last season was, if she turns back to look at me, I'll be okay, indicating that they've got work to do. No, she just went away for 8-ish weeks, and now, like as LB said, Christian Camp made her forget.
Yeah, she's just so
Um,
over it. Like at this point, I just can't even believe it.
I can't even deal. I'm gonna go curse Paige out at her party tomorrow.
Yeah,
Bye.
I did the Christian's rope course, and then I couldn't even be mad anymore. It's just so awful. And yeah,
Yeah.
and then the queen bee, and it was just like, oh, that's the first note that I took, was like,
Mhm.
so gross, that exchange.
My first
Mhm.
note was that it was nice to see Jimmy and Spinner back together though.
It I know it is. It definitely is. But
It might
yeah,
be
that's
slightly overshadowed by some of this creepiness
yeah.
for me. I do like that they are like back, like they never left. I like it, and he's gonna need it. Um, but it's very much like, ew, there's things happening that I don't appreciate. And I never
Yeah.
liked Spinner and Darcy. They're just so loud and in the way.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
And they like had to do like a pan up uh of fucking
Her
Shanae
outfit,
Grimes.
yeah.
Yeah, like why is she the only one that gets those pan ups? Those slow walk in pan ups. Like,
Because she's the longest one now.
okay, but arguably that should be Miriam.
Is she longer than Miriam?
No, I think Miriam is longer than her.
Well then I don't know.
I think Shailene Woodley. I think Shanae Grimes is short.
Is she?
I think so.
But she's long.
Sometimes people have a long torso
Yeah.
and like
I don't know.
short legs, and they're short. At least I think she's like maybe average height. I don't think she's like supermodel height. Like Miriam is supermodel height.
You're
Like
talking about
5'10" and
Darcy,
above.
the actress that plays Darcy?
Yes, the actress that plays Darcy.
Mm.
We
And
try
the
to be
actress that plays
sophisticated and
Emma.
call them by their names, but you know.
When we're not talking about the characters.
Right.
Oh,
Because they're
gotcha.
real people in those bodies, you know.
But yeah, Spinner and Spinner and Jimmy doing this work this friendship lifting is not enough for me, but so you wouldn't mind?
I wouldn't mind, like, fuck, I lost it.
I would like to assert that we had a whole debate last season with Tawny in our wrap up about whether or not Spinner and Paige had sex. They had sex.
They did. They 100% had sex. We already knew that.
We knew that.
Mhm.
We knew that.
No, that was, I don't think that was what we talked about. We talked about whether or not he was her first.
Her first.
Like,
Oh, I thought it
dude.
was also disputed. And I fear that the story would just beat us over the head with that. Even if they showed if they would have given us something, because they loved Paige and Oleander together, and it was just weird. Why do you like this underage girl with this man?
Because
Oh, with
they're
the
all
teacher
about
guy?
an age gap. It's
Yes.
gross. I hate it. I don't
Yeah.
like Degrassi with age gaps.
They are really like, hey, what if they did? What if they didn't? But
That was this weird thing where like Paige was an insufferable caricature like in the first episode. Just this like this mean girl that I still got no explanation for. Like I said to Caroline, like after the first episode where she like tanks Terry's plans to like spin her, like so long ago. We were so young back then. But she was just this insufferable, like really venal, mean, malicious girl. And I'm like, okay, I really need to see like her horrible home life soon. I need to know why she is this. You never get any of that.
no,
Things happen to her, but it doesn't
Right.
explain. I mean, it just that I think what happened is that was the character, but she's actually a good actress. And so as the show went on, because it doesn't
Yes.
dissipate entirely, but she very quickly turns like she's kind of immediately like kind of a cool 35-year-old. Even like by the end of season 1, she's like in the teacher's lounge, like, oh, these kids, you guys. I don't know how we're gonna make it to the end of this year.
No, I
but-
think that it would be supported by some of the things that Shane has said, that they kind of had to work with the actor once they kind of grew out of what the character was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because like Spinner is supposed to be a bully with ADHD in the
But then
first
he came
couple
back
seasons.
to season 2 having lost weight, so he couldn't be a bully anymore.
So he couldn't be a bully anymore.
Yeah,
naturally.
exactly.
So they had to rework him into like the class clown. But it's like, it's very much, I would agree with that, because Lauren does such a great job getting any little vulnerability when it's not even on the page, I would say. Like, she does a good job in bringing out the vulnerability of the character. And then she gets moments that are actually very, that are some of the most vulnerable things anybody can go through. And she does a great job. She is one of my favorite characters, fun fact.
That's Paige, right? I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay, I thought I did a lot of research, but I didn't learn everybody's
We
real
have to
name.
call them by their character
We'll
names.
call them by,
today, I
yes,
think.
Paige is one of my favorite characters. I think that
Yes.
you can't really take the actor away from that, because if it was someone else, playing Paige, would be a completely different.
Yeah, if it was someone else playing
thing.
Paige, they might have just been that one note evil girl. They would have been, it would have been like, what Jay is, where you just, Jay walks in the room and you're like, something's gonna get fucked up now. And
I would like to, I know it's in the A plot, but actually I would like to shout out to Jay, because he was like, no, you don't have to beat him up. Just beat him at racing. And then they were at the race place, and Sean was like, I'm going to fight this kid. And Jay was like, no.
I want to talk about that when we get there, because Mike, who played Jay, did an amazing job in this episode, and I've got to talk about it. But I am not a big, so I think when I was watching the show originally, I loved Ellie. And I realize now that a lot of Ellie's issues are like, the reasons I like Ellie is because of her issues and not necessarily because of her acting. It's kind of the opposite reason I like Paige. It's kind of the opposite reason. I've noticed. And I think it's kind of evidenced by the B plot. I guess it would be the B plot because Ellie's very heavy. Or no, is it more the
It's
C
like
plot?
the C
It's more
plot,
like
but
a
This
it's
is
all
C
yeah.
plot.
together.
Yeah,
It's
because
like C.
it bleeds
it's like-
from the because the whole housing thing is in the first
It's like the
half.
B plot has like subsets.
Right, a
The
little.
B plot has
yeah,
the
subscript.
party and Marco and Dylan.
Marco's
and
dad.
and
Marco's
Just
dad.
leave me.
Oh my god.
Yes.
What did I say? I said to Caroline when Marco's family first came up
Mhm.
in the early seasons, I texted her something like, which Hogwarts wizard turned a picture on a pizza box to life to be Marco's parents? Because it was just so like, come and get our pizza, piping hot. Marco, my son, I'm so proud of you.
He will
Accept.
abruptly drop that accent whenever he gets ready. That actor
It's
is just
when
like
Marco comes out, it scares him out of it.
Yeah, right?
he's like, Marco, you're guessing.
He's like, I can't be Italian anymore.
I can't be Italian. This is serious. I
Not in
can't
the
be
same
Italian
way.
anymore.
Yeah.
I'm New World Italian now. Thanks, son.
It's terrible how many things they kind of cram into, because it's an opener, I suppose, but they kind of cram into it. And I think that it's like this episode in particular kind of works with them shoehorning the college kids in, but it quickly stops working.
Here's what sounds horrible to me: being roommates with Marco and Dylan.
Yeah.
I don't
Which is
want
literally
that.
what Ellie says in the beginning, but she blames it on them both being dudes. And I'm like, no, I don't want to stay in an apartment with the guy that I used to kind of be in love with, who turned into my best friend, his hot Greek god of a boyfriend, and hear them fucking in their
And-
college man pad and the toilet seats up.
And just their existence together because they're a horrible couple.
They are
Yeah.
well, I think that she should have. And the logistics of her being able to be kicked out of her dorm room is hilarious because like no one owns that dorm room.
That's
What
I
is
was saying.
Emberly the fucking?
Well-
is she an RA or something? Like, why does she have ownage over the dorm room? Like, I know she was there first, but like she
No,
seems to be the problem.
I made that same note saying like, I didn't know that Amberly was, in charge. But I also made a note that like I want to see the spin-off of I want to see the spin-off. Well, first of all, Amberly says that she implies that her last roommate was a sourpuss because
Yes.
they were homophobic. She's like, oh, you have a gay friend? You're already cooler than my last roommate. Such a sourpuss. And I was like, oh, they hated gays, and that's a sourpuss to Amberly. But I also want to see the spin-off where we see Amberly's adventures as a serial killer. Because she definitely has like 50 bodies.
And a scrapbook for
and
each one.
Right.
Yeah, and a scrapbook for each one. And
They're
the
like
first
holding
one,
the
first one was
scrapbook.
definitely Graham. Like Graham
Gran has been mummified.
at Amberly's hand. Like there's
she
just
knit
no
her
doubt.
a sarcophagus. Like,
Yeah,
I can't.
exactly.
But that is the truth. Like for me, it's a special kind of like sociopath to like root through somebody's shit and unpack their stuff for them.
Right?
Unpack. Oh well,
Who are you? Do you know them?
No, it was way over the line, like way psychotic right away.
What are you gonna find in there? You don't know. You could be rooting through somebody's panties that they haven't washed ever. You could be rooting through somebody's like dick drawer.
Well, that's probably what
contents.
she was hoping for, because serial killers like trophies. She was probably hunting for what she likes to keep as a trophy. But yeah, when she was like, you don't live here anymore, like Ellie should have been like, who are you?
The fuck, right? Like,
I don't know. I get not wanting to fight that.
I mean, yes, I think that
No, I
Ellie.
do, but-
I get Ellie not wanting to fight that, but I
She
also
probably saved her life that night.
Yeah,
she would have.
exactly.
If she was like, "No,
Oh.
I have as much rights to this room as you do. I'm coming back in," and she's like, "And fuck you, I'm taking my torch back," and like,
Yes.
Bush pushes her way and she's gonna wake up dead.
Yeah.
She's gonna wake up
Well,
dead,
part of that is I
knitted
think,
into like a spider web or some shit.
I think that she just took that and went with it because she said in the article that Ellie said that she had like trashed
the housing
and like
department.
other,
Yes.
so she was
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna bother. But it also was like
Yeah.
super, like, for someone who was already super inappropriate to
Right.
like go through her stuff and like decide her print needed to get like lost behind the
That pissed me off. She
thing.
probably
It's
never found that. She probably
No, she
never
didn't.
found the print.
No, but when Ellie goes missing, and when they really do a good forensic search
Sweep of
of
the
that
room,
room,
they're gonna be like,
and
"What is this?"
they're gonna say there's something behind here. What is that? And I go, okay.
Bodies and a print. Yeah, she probably saved her own life that night by just like,
Yes.
but that's true. She was like, the housing department ain't gonna do shit because I've literally like
Trashed them.
trashed everybody. But like, can we talk about the introduction of probably the second worst boy man child in this part of the franchise next to Peter?
Hate him.
I hate Jesse so
him.
fucking much.
And I'm
Jesse
pretty
is
sure
the
I hated
worst.
him on RFR too.
Wait, who's Jesse? Why am I blanking?
He's the editor.
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah,
no,
you see the little nasty look he gives her when he like he's like, you still here, and then he like checks after her. I'm like, ooh, nasty bitch.
Yeah, he was just horrible. I mean, that's the deal, and it's part of, with the 22-minute episodic like things, and that was the charm even of the original. The original Degrassi too is like, we have to get everything we're saying out. A lot of times it's very ham-fisted. It's cringeworthy when the actors are less than good, and then it's fun and kind of goofy when the actors are good.
Right.
And you still go like, oh my God, this is ridiculous, but I'm still engaged because, the actors playing Craig or Paige or Mark, like certain actors are just really, they're great, they're really good. And then sometimes it's just like, I'm evil right now. Deal with that before the next commercial break.
Yeah. That's literally, it's like, someone needs to be the villain. It might as well be me.
But what happened to Amberly's previous roommate? How many roommates has she had?
She's buried under the floorboards.
It's not safe to ask these questions.
It's not. Amberly is going to pop up at our bedside simultaneously tonight.
I know I don't want any. I don't want spoilers.
We've said her name too many times.
No. She doesn't come back.
No. This is a like big impression character never heard from again.
We have a black hole. I didn't even realize. We'll get there.
Yeah. Whoa. She's a black hole, and one could be argued that she no longer serves a function in the narrative. However, she's never mentioned again, and she's the reason why Ellie can never live in residence.
I respect how quickly, like, she had that scrapbook ready to go.
She was like, "What's this bitch's name?" Eleanor. All right, let me get it done. That she had that little.
How do you spell that?
But literally, I'm so upset that another thing that bothered me as someone who has a 4-letter name and never was really asked, "Oh, can I call you something else? Like, what's that short for? Whatever." Saying, "Oh, Eleanor," and she's like, "Actually, it's Ellie," and you continue to call her the name that she asked to not be called.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful. Me off. And I think that those social things just piss me off way more than they should.
The girl is a sociopathic serial killer. Seriously, if the producers are listening to this, I would like to work on a spin-off that is a serious true crime-ish kind of thingy. Not procedural necessarily, but come on, if she's
it's right there.
If she's got 85 roommates in her past, we've got syndication.
We've got material. No, I think that's it was so swift.
Yeah.
The turnover rate is too high.
And
There's
it's
an
kind of
investigation.
and I think maybe it's that you just needed to get Ellie back. They need the characters to kind of be together.
They do, because they can't follow these people across 3 places, and there's gonna be how we had a going away party for Paige.
For 45 minutes.
For 45 precise minutes. That's going to be actual thing. We can't be following. They don't have the budget to be following these people. There's multiple colleges. It's like every teenage sitcom or a teenage drama where they're like, we're going to college. It's like, I got accepted here. I got accepted to the University of Minnesota. I got accepted to Siberia. Like, no, they're all going to end up at Columbia. Just like they're all going to end up in the same city. Like, they're not even
same home.
In the same, right? They're not even going to be like, oh, I should just save the room and board and stay at home. It's predictable, but I do like that. My favorite part of this plot is Marco and Ellie being like, Saved by the Bell marathon starts at 5 and I got the jalapeno butter for the popcorn, and she's like, can you please act like you're upset I got kicked out? He's like, no bitch, I was waiting for the I do not want random roommates in my home.
When we met Amberly, I knew that everything was going to fall into place one way or another.
I just had to wait. It was either going to be the very short or the very long thing.
I know that poor girl was probably so psyched. She's like, oh my God, I got a job on Degrassi and I'm Ellie's roommate and oh my God.
Oh.
Then that was it.
That was done.
Until she's the star of my new show. Amberly ?
This actress.
That's the name of it.
Needs to come out of retirement for this show.
Yeah.
We got to track her down.
Clearly, it's the YMP production. It's the TiddySnake Productions mission.
It'll be a Toby Isaacs production.
Toby Isaacs joint.
Oh, joint. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. No, it's very much. I feel like the Wonder Years, the college years, take up enough of this episode that I'm grateful.
They are laying foreshadowing for what's to come for Paige.
And some of the conversation that Ellie and Marco are having about their classes, Paige is just completely not even concerned. It's like when I went to college and I'm worried about my bedspread and should I get the reversible one? And then people are like, oh, what do you think? What classes are you thinking of taking? And I'm like, I'm gonna be an English major. And they're like, yeah, you got to take classes. Shut up. Cosmo Girl in 17 magazine said all I have to do is pick out what major I want to be, and then I have to dress accordingly. And so it's supposed to be very artsy and preppy. And so I had to kind of coordinate that to my bedspread. I was thinking pinks or soft corals. That was what I was concerned about. So I related to Paige being why is somebody throwing me a party?
I know. Well, I did twice in this episode though.
She's completely unconcerned.
Yeah. Everyone else is really sweating it, and she's just
she's anyway.
Just forget that I really like piñatas.
What color scheme are you thinking for my party?
I know, but that annoyed me too. Not writing well for women is nothing new to anyone in any industry. But I feel like the chicks on this show get such disservice because twice, the 2 times, it's so sue me for wanting to, get us all together for one last time. It's no, bitch, you said we need to throw you a party. If you want us all to get together, fucking throw a party.
Since when do you care about it being your last time hanging out with Ellie?
Yeah.
You don't like Ellie.
She does not like Ellie, and it's canon that they literally put up with each other because they are both Marco's best friend.
Exactly.
That's literally it. And then it reminds me, have you guys seen Final Destination 3?
I have
Not in
not.
a long time.
Okay. There's a part in obviously they die, and the one of the characters is like a lot of
What?
people. A
Is
lot
that
of people
the roller
die.
coaster one?
Yes, that's the roller coaster one.
With Instant Star.
Yes,
Yes.
Alex Johnson is in there.
Yes.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead and
Yes.
Ryan Merriman is in that as well. Ryan Merriman.
Creepy fucking Ian from Pretty Little Liars.
Yes, and okay, he was also in a lot of things in his
He was in
teenhood.
a lot of decoms.
He was a lot of decoms.
Let's
Put
call
some
it what it is. He was in a lot of decoms.
He was in a lot of decoms, but those were important decoms, Caroline. Okay,
Buck
but
of the
anyway,
Irish.
yes.
Smart House, was that him?
Smart House was him. The 13th Year was him. So there's this part where where Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character is like, if it wasn't for me and Carrie being friends and you and Josh being friends, we wouldn't have ever hanging out. We would have never hung out. We don't even like each other. Like that's that hard. Like that's what it is. Like we don't like each other. We are hanging out of civility. Like I could care less if you die is the subtext of that conversation. But
Yeah.
it's one step away from that. I mean, Paige and
Yeah.
Ellie are frenemies. Like not even frenemies. Associate enemies.
They're grudging acquaintances.
Yeah. They're like, why have you been in my life this long?
I
Well,
know.
Hazel got black
Because we
hole.
both love the same gay man.
Terry got black hole.
Hazel is just gone. She just threw
She
her
dropped
cap and
cap and left.
she just dropped her cap and escorted herself the fuck off the show that
Who
she's
did?
on for the last 5
Hazel.
seasons. Hazel.
Oh, yeah.
Hazel Aden. We
Oh,
hardly
yeah.
knew ye.
We have a lot of headcanon for Hazel. She's a show favorite, but it's just because we've decided to flesh her
Yeah.
out some.
This show could care less about.
But this show is a Hazel Aden
Stan account, yes. But no, yeah, like it obviously now Paige needs something to do, and they're like, wait a minute, we're just gonna occupy her time in the scene with Hazel, and not instead of her talking about Hazel or to Hazel, with witty banter with Ellie, witty snarky banter. It works.
It's like, okay, now be mean to her in a friendly way, like you did with Hazel sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they do it, and
comes
it's
back.
Alex's outfit in this.
Alex looks so fucking cute.
I'm like, they just decided to give her like good extensions and like pumps, and they were like, "Go frolic, you beautiful soul,"
And she did.
and she did, and she did.
She waved that like race like a fucking goddess.
She
was
did.
glorious.
Do we think that the Degrassi producers said, "Hey guys, I just came from seeing a really neato movie called Fast and Furious." Wait, is the first one called The Fast and the Furious?
Oh my
Because
god.
that fucking dumbass franchise has done every iteration of those 2, 3, 4, 5 words, and it's bothering me. There is one called Fast and Furious. Then there's one called The Fast and the Furious, and I think that's the first one. Because that's the only one I've seen, except for the second one, Tokyo Drift was really good. Tokyo Drift had me, then you lost me. I have not seen any.
I've never seen a Fast and a Furious movie.
It was such a big deal, Caroline. Are you kidding?
I have seen one, and it was on a Zoom movie night with a bunch of friends, and we all acquiesced to one dude that wanted to watch it.
Which, the first one or
I don't remember which one.
You're
it
like,
was.
I
have
don't.
no idea.
Honestly, if you've seen one, you've seen probably
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
But I will say that, like, the
Can I
first
say-
and the second movies were pretty good.
Okay, I'm old because Fast and Furious never entered my mind during this entire thing.
Are
This
you-
might mean
this was-
nothing because what came into my mind in the same goofy, cringeworthy way is
Mhm.
there's like a drag race in the movie Grease. And
I was
there's- and
thinking
then
Grease
drag
a little
race
bit.
in Footloose.
Yeah.
Those were the idiot
Illegal.
kids.
Yeah.
That's what it brought up in my memory. Watching this idiot kid that, Peter, like, somehow, like, code switch because he got the car and turn
Mhm.
into whatever it is he thinks he's being. And I
Yeah,
mean, issues.
it's appropriation of appropriation because
Yeah. But
why
then
does
he's like code switching to Sean.
I feel like it's at least one more appropriation removed. Like,
yeah.
like it's an appropriation of an appropriation of an
of
appropriation.
an appropriation?
Yeah.
You're like, throw one more in there.
But that's
I
funny,
mean,
Fast and Furious never crossed my mind with any of that car racing stuff.
I've got to think that's what it is because they literally pointedly say illegal street racing, which
Yeah.
is like the very premise
And
of
Jimmy
Fast and
calls
Furious.
Jimmy calls Peter too white, too furious. Or
Yes,
something.
Oh,
he
does
does. He
Yeah.
does.
Oh,
yes.
I don't
It's
remember
in my
hearing
shots
that.
fired.
It's my shot. Yes, it's yes. He also starts
Oh.
calling him Poindexter, which I really like and appreciate.
Well, I said that, like, my
It's like I
thing-
love when people say Poindexter and like they don't say it. They don't say it anymore because people don't know who Poindexter is.
No, I know. Oh, but are we gonna do the shots fired part and we should talk about it then, or what?
To a degree.
You can
Okay.
talk. We usually like talk
We just
about the
kind of
lines,
fire
but we
the
don't.
shots.
Yeah, we don't do like the line read in the main show.
Oh,
Typically,
gotcha,
we'll like
gotcha.
talk about it and then do the actual line read in our rapid.
Yeah, it's like, so I just thought, like, what I thought when he kept calling him, like, was it Jay that kept calling Peter Poindexter?
Yes.
Yes.
And I was like, I just felt like that was really a lame thing, and especially because like that he could have done better. But I also thought, I would think Jay would like actually kind of be like, hey, isn't that the guy that sex crimed and child porned Manny? I think he's a kindred spirit. Like, I would think he would like Peter to a certain degree, but I guess he can't because Peter's rich and
He
Peter's
can-
the man.
He sees
know-
Peter as like a try hard because Peter is a try hard, and well, I think it's mainly pointed out that like by Emma that Peter has no friends because he's terrible, and so he is trying so hard that he is giving himself this like nerdy ass, weird ass reputation, which I think is
Okay.
pretty well earned.
So well earned.
He's kind of creepy.
He's
Well, no,
very,
he's-
very creepy.
He's
And I'm sorry,
horrible.
is Jay a shitbag? Yes. Is Jay a date rapist or any other kind of rapist? I don't really think so.
No, I think he's a
Yeah.
creep. I think he's a fucking creep.
I think he can be creepy.
And
for
he's an
sure, but
opportunist, but he's not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I don't see him
he
being
did
like
not make Emma suck his dick.
he did not make
He
Emma suck
did
his dick.
not make
Emma
suck his
willingly
dick.
did that. Emma
Yeah.
came back to do that
Yeah.
Yes.
after getting the bracelet that would
Well, it was never about the bracelet.
she made it about the bracelet for about 2 seconds until he shamed her and was like, listen, this bracelet means nothing unless you suck a dick. And she's just like, okay.
That's what Lance Armstrong said to everybody when they got his bracelet too. He tried it so many times.
Well, that's how it feels. Because Emma was happy as a clam with that bracelet.
Yeah.
You could tell her shit. And then, like, Jay was just having the worst day. And he's like, fuck you and your bracelet. Okay.
But okay, but it still remains. I don't think. I mean, I guess actually Jay does do something kind of sex crimey to Manny later on. God damn it, Jay Hobart. I was rooting for you.
We were
We were
all
all
rooting
for you.
And it kind of makes it worse, the circumstances of that.
God damn it.
Well, you guys
Well-
can talk about it. Don't worry about spoiling.
No,
for me,
no, no,
but-
we
No,
don't have
we gotta
to.
be
It's
better
just- no,
about
it's
it. We
more-
gotta be
okay.
better about this as well. We just spoiled the fuck out of most of this. was like, yeah, in season 72 they do this, and we're in season 5. So
This
They're
show
like,
is like
this-
20 years old. I mean, I guess Next
Yeah.
Class isn't, but even Next Class is at least like
people, next class is 11 years old.
okay, that's still a
Hmm.
baby.
It is. It's in middle school.
All right, we will try not to spoil Next Class.
It's still got time to piss
Okay.
people off. You know, it's
I'm
just getting
looking-
started.
if you don't spoil the hardship that Emma goes through when she's diagnosed with osteoporosis.
That's how long her ass is on this show.
Exactly.
Truly. No, but can we lock it in now to have LB back for Emma's wedding? Fuck yes.
It is logged as I was taking a rather large pull from my bong.
I love that.
She's purple and dirty. She's dirty, but
I
she's good
feel
to me.
like you can't get like a clear read on Manny. Like at points it kind of feels like she's for like she is team Sean. At other points it feels like she's team wants to bone Sean.
I was gonna say, I assert that Manny's hormones are running wild through the plane like wild horses.
I would not have been mad at Manny or Sean.
You what?
I wouldn't have been mad at Manny or Sean.
No. Well, so the thing that makes me upset, the chemistry that they have, even when Manny's like, I'm gonna go say hi to Sean's biceps, and she's next to him, and like, you know, they pan to Sean and against the car, and he's watching Emma and Peter or whatever, and like with a look on his face, and it's like, I wish that we got some more of the chemistry between Manny and Sean, because they've had it since they were babies.
Have
I think so. I think that they've had a bit, but the show doesn't really let them do much with it. Because of the epic love story that the show wants. Emma, people are still mad about Emma and Sean being
about them breaking up.
about them
or-
breaking up. I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
and then there's other things, but I'm not gonna spoil that because we just talked
that's
about it.
that's when Emma was still making reasonable decisions.
Right.
Because Sean was going like crazy off the deep end, and that's what you got to do when you're 14 and that you can't deal with that.
Yeah.
But you know, he's also the who's the actor that plays Sean?
Daniel Clark.
Yeah, he's real. I really think he's a good actor.
He's
Yeah.
great.
And so
Next to him and Mike, who plays Jay, I love Mike and Daniel next to each other. They act so well off of each other, and usually they
Yeah.
paired like Jay and Spinner together, which is a good enough pair. But I've always really enjoyed Sean
Yeah.
and Jay as friends.
And that's an example of where the actor is good enough that this kind of like huge, immediate, stupid choices that get him in trouble, you're still like, no, don't do it, but I can buy it and kind of get behind it and say, well, that's where the story needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
but by the end of this, because all it just I mean, going into this season, my journey through Degrassi thus far, where it just kind of devolved from the actual like topics and things that kids have to go through and the subject matter, to like just being so wholeheartedly about the important relationships that are going on. And so I was just kind of like, oh, okay, she had a really rough, anorexic summer. I know how most people can it's like the flu. You just have it
An
for a couple
anorexic
months.
summer.
Yeah.
That's what she's like. It's fine. I just had a couple of issues with eating,
Now
and
I
I'm
knit.
okay now. I'm okay now. I knit because I don't want to have my hands be idle. Because you know what happens with idle hands.
I know.
They
And it's
end up
like-
on Sean Cameron's biceps.
They
Apparently.
clearly end up stroking a bicep, And
I
like
know.
this is like when they really start transitioning to that like soap opera format, especially how they end the first.
Oh my god, right?
It's so funny. They have her as check the caller ID and CP his little square picture, and then be like, I still want to kiss you.
Yeah. But it's like there's zero in her life except for, and then like Sean, the boy comes back and she's like, well, now this is the most important thing. It's like, she needs some counseling. She needs a
Yeah.
girls' school.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like the focus isn't like why, and it's almost like she just wants what she can't have, or isn't supposed to have.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you so bored? Why
Yeah.
are you so bored with your life? You have practically domesticated Peter.
Right?
Yeah.
Why are you so fucking bored? Were you more into him when he was the guy that sex crimed your girlfriend, your best friend, and literally was in like fake detention for 5 weeks?
Yes, because I'm
and
sorry,
it was the
Emma
guy you had to
sucks.
sneak around with because she fucking likes she likes sneaking around.
Yeah.
Emma likes sneaking around. If she's not sneaking around doing something, she's bored.
She really needs some help. And
Like,
Emma, if you're out there, reach out.
Gets
We
it
can
right,
help
right.
you.
Please ask for some help, Emma. Help is always available.
Yeah.
But like that's what it's giving. It's like I'm not stimulated enough. I need to tank my life.
Yeah, it's really,
Like
really
I need
crazy.
to go kiss someone who's not my boyfriend.
However, that's not even what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Sean, who does make his own decisions, but she completely ensnares him. And like the whole, and then his like, he's like going to be bunkmates with Wheels now, maybe. And like, I don't even he's Wheels'
Bunkmates
bitch
with
now,
Wheels, indeed.
right?
That's
the spinoff we need.
That is the spinoff we need. Is that why? Sean's character, they do so much with it, but it feels they do so little. It is all about Emma.
Yeah.
And
well, he's tried. I feel like he's tried to make something of himself.
He's got
like, over the
schematics
period
in
of
his
the time-
fucking back pocket.
Yeah. But weren't they fake though? Isn't that what I learned in the mini? Did that mini happen yet or no?
That
happened.
mini happened.
No, what we
That was
learned
the
in this
first mini.
episode is that
Yeah.
mini was canon, I guess.
That mini was canon, but
I wish I had Sean Cameron's like optimism that he is this like kid from the wrong side of the tracks who's going to get a bank loan and in a year's time open up Cameron's Customs or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a good name though, Cameron's Custom Cars, and you wouldn't even have to like make any of them a K or anything to do the CCC. You know? Like how
that'd
people
be
like
much better than KKK as a selling point for your business.
I
So
think
it's a
I
good
meant
thing.
the skew of taking a K and making it a C, like he's already got all the right C's. Yeah. I fear that it's just Emma's goal to fucking destroy men. And if that's her goal, okay, you should have just said that. You know, like maybe it would have changed my opinion about you. Maybe.
Yeah,
but because this unintentional, I don't know what I'm doing. I love you, Peter, even though you're terrible. I mean, your father and
there's nothing. I mean, like Peter is just indefensibly a disgusting piece of trash.
Mm-hmm.
And
Constantly.
like, I mean, initially, anyway, and like what I know of him is that, he sex crimed Manny, distributed child porn, got 5 weeks detention for it, and Emma likes him. That's what I know. And I suppose that I know that he's rich.
Yeah.
And that that he comes from a rich family. His mom is the principal, which
negligent.
Yeah, well, don't get me started. But like his mom, it's not that principal is such a like, oh, your dad's a doctor or a lawyer. Like, it's not highfalutin, but because their whole thing is this school, it's kind of like he's got that power. And that's why it was like,
Unfortunately.
yeah, it's like you just said, for Emma to not to like pull that shit, like Peter would never put those drugs in your locker. Why are you saying it's like? No,
You are
no.
sounding crazy. Like, you are just like, how is that even possible? How would he even gain access to your locker? Do you think there's like a set of keys that's like gets everybody into everybody's locker? Do you think that exists? You really think that exists?
I mean, if it did, it would be in the principal's office. And how would he ever
How would he
get
get
in there?
in there?
Yeah,
You're talking nonsense, Sean.
And it's like, what? How? I mean, has he ever done anything before that might impress upon you that he has a streak of? Like, well, no, he hasn't
No.
done anything.
He didn't
in the
subscribe my best
in
friend.
in the end, that video was good for Manny because it gave her resilience, and I really think that
And
in the end,
promoted her
Peter
drive
helped
to
her.
act.
Exactly, it's gonna go
And,
on her
like,
reel.
Okay,
Oh, dear
yes,
Lord.
Sean stole some shit like a cancer laptop at freshman year.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. There's something
He also admitted to that.
he also admitted to that.
yeah. You see, that's another problem is why he's not smarter. I mean, if he's smarter, then none of the kids are like making out with each other in a car, and there's no show to watch. Apparently, I mean, I think that there could be a show to watch, but
Mhm.
they're not interested in that
They don't want that.
anymore.
No.
But it's like he also should be like, yeah, I gotta stay away from that bitch Emma, man. Shit goes wrong
Shit
every
goes-
time.
Literally, Emma's like, yeah, there's schools in Wasaga. And
Yeah.
he's like, there's a lot of things in Wasaga. There's
Can
a lot
we
of
also
blondes
say-
in Wasaga.
Can
There's a
we
lot of
also-
blondes looking like you in Wasaga.
Yeah.
I dated them all, girl. And none of them,
Exactly.
none of them. I'm back here. Like, just kidding.
I
Did
want to
Sean
bring up.
just spend the last year running through every blonde girl in
Every
Wasaga
blonde,
Beach?
Yeah, I
every
guess
blonde
he
on
did.
Wasaga Beach, every visiting blonde, every residential blonde. He's
Just
like,
trying to get it.
"Phew."
He's like, I've been through them all. None of them ruined my life like you did. I had to come back.
I had to come
One of
back
them
to
literally gave me scabies, Emma, and
Yeah.
still.
and still it wasn't
No.
enough.
It
Wasn't to
the-
your level, your level of destruction.
It wasn't the same magic that you bring to my life. I mean, it's just really gross, and when you have the character that you're rooting for, like
Mhm.
Sean,
Mhm.
and it's it made me sad. It made me
He's
sad. But can I also interject,
good man.
like the slight nod to Emma went crazy with a mental disease, even though it was just summertime anorexic. She just went to anorexic summer school, but she started to knit like her biological father with his brain condition.
Yes, thank you
Like,
for bringing that up because that's
I
very
was-
important.
I was like, oh my gosh, it runs in the family. When something
they-
bad
that's-
happens to you, this is just calming. Knit one,
This
pearl
is what
two,
hap-
Knit one, pearl two.
Yeah, they are just like that is the only mention of Shane McKay that we will get, and that's an indirect mention of like
Yeah,
a
no, I
nod to
know.
him. But
Well,
like,
they-
I wish that
yeah.
they would have brought, because it would have kind of not even validated, but I think it would have been progressive, because it's a lot of people still don't associate eating disorders like with a mental disorder.
Yeah,
And
No,
I think
I
it would
know.
have been very powerful to be like, this makes me think about my dad. Like, I went to see him once and he was knitting just like this. I
Yeah,
wonder if
when
it makes
he
him
couldn't-
calm too.
that's what
Something
they
like
said.
that. Yeah,
that's
like,
what they in
yeah.
that episode where she went to go find him,
mhm.
which I thought was a great episode. And one of the reasons I was
Yes.
super glad that I had watched the original Degrassi first. I was like,
Yes.
I'm so informed right now.
It's right. It's like I would have loved to watch it
You
that
know
way.
what would have
LB,
been
actually, it
powerful
would have
as
been
fuck?
so cool to watch it like linear and not just having to go back.
Yeah.
Do you know what would have been powerful as fuck?
What?
Mm.
I say this as a girl with two dads. If she had had that conversation with Snake.
Yeah. And you know what? It would have been more powerful than honestly having it with Spike, because her and Snake just connect on a deeper level. And have had more conversations, that I think that would have been more appropriate. And he was there and like played a role in like discovering and bringing her anorexia to light.
Mm-hmm.
And him not being there was a big reason why I was able to like flourish out of control like that.
Yeah.
Because he was an active and present parent, and not saying that that cannot happen with active and present parents. I'm not saying that, but just the way their household was structured, the way that he cooked fresh meals, the way that he was like very just like up in her diet in that way, like it just wouldn't have spiraled out of like, I think we said like the eating out and everything and having to do a lot of what they did before Snake triggered her
Mm-hmm.
into needing to control, or
I want
shit that was going on.
I want that conversation. I want Snake to be the one to bring it up.
That would have been really good.
Like, I
That
don't
would have
know.
given Snake something to do, because we
It would have been a
don't.
little more redemption for that man after they assassinated his character last season.
They were like, let's just not talk about him. Let's not talk about Snake for a while. Let's just shh. He's over here. He's in timeout. He's having quiet time. He'll be back.
Well, he also, though, that could have been. He started to direct episodes of the show.
Yes.
The actor who
Yes.
was in the
Definitely.
director,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
So
absolutely.
that also could have been, I don't know when that was, but it might have just been like, well, give him less to do because he's busy doing the other stuff.
It's definitely around now, because he helped out with the Degrassi minis last season.
Yeah, that's right.
So I know that he's starting to, around this time, take more of like the reins of things, and like having been so close to the franchise, like literally pretty much since it started.
Yeah.
I think that was like a trusted, like he's like the passing of the torch. I'm pretty sure it happens around this time, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think that would make sense, but it's also like, I don't like the timing, because no, you got to work OT to like, you got to do it now. You got to get this guy like back talking to us, because just having him host his regular class and stuff and like be like, this is bad. This is terrible. Yeah, no, it's not good that Sean hit a person and fled.
No.
That's not good.
And the fleeing is what makes it a crime.
The
the
fleeing
street
is
racing
what
also makes it a crime. But
Right.
what they should have done is Peter should have gotten the fuck out of there. Sean should have just been like, I was going a little too fast.
Correct. That would have been the best way to handle it, was
Well,
to eliminate the street racing situation.
That's called obstruction
And
of justice.
the
Hush.
recklessness. Well, it was obstruction anyway.
Well, and
No, I
Peter's
know.
involved, so like Hatsalakos will make it work. Everybody will pay like 5 weeks detention.
Exactly.
Do you think if she had been made aware of the stakes, like that she would have gotten herself involved? I feel like she's such a menace.
I hate her.
She's like a menace for like, not like just for chaos. She doesn't do anything useful.
We gotta order those Hatsalakos fuck them kids stickers.
Yes. Those are gonna be so good. But I mean, speaking of Hatsalakos and fuck them kids, so like, we've got Emma basically pretending she's not in heat around Sean and just like trying to keep their relationship non-existent, but like it's very clear that there's stuff happening. So who is threatened by this?
Me, because I thought their pheromones might come out of the TV and into me, and then I would be charged with sex crime by against
So you
a
planted
minor.
the drugs in Sean's locker.
You planted the drugs.
Exactly.
It wasn't
That's the
Peter.
thing is like Hatsalakos is so out of touch with what's going on, not just in her school, but with her own fucking son.
She's annoying me. She bothers me.
Or where did he come from? Is he just evil? Because she's
He
like,
might be, but like
he could, but then she's partially
don't just
still
let that
responsible.
happen.
no, I didn't mean like, is he just evil? I mean, like, he comes from somewhere. She was like,
Yes.
I used to ride a sport bike too, Mr. Snake, whatever.
Mhm.
Let's
My
fuck
mom
in a
calls him
hallway.
Mr. Snake.
Mr. Snake. Yes, Snake. Yeah, it's not. She is not low, as I like to say. Her intentions of like, oh, I'm just a nice woman, No, you're not. You're a fucking
No.
bitch.
Well, she was nice. She was kind of when she was first on the show, and it was
Mhm.
like she's the super hot teacher, and then when she hears them, making fun of her, it's JT actually,
Yes.
making fun of her who they had connected in an episode, and she,
Mhm.
it was that kind of like, I'm a smart woman and I try to do a good job here and teach people, and so it really hurt my feelings. Then she
Mhm.
just came, like I had said that too, when the show really kicked up to this like hormone induced craziness. I was like, they
Mhm.
even got rid of the principal and got the
Yeah.
hot lady to be the
They got
principal.
Well,
yeah.
and like, where was Peter up until now?
Mm.
Oh yeah, right, she worked at that school.
In the
Well,
depths
you know
of
what,
hell where he
but though
belongs.
but maybe
With
they
his
didn't, maybe she
father?
didn't. Yeah, well, with his father, or just because she works at that school doesn't mean she lives in that school district. They could live somewhere else and then he would
Okay,
go to
that's
a
a
different
point.
school.
Mm.
And then maybe when she got the job as principal, she got like an apartment nearby. And so he's going there now. Who knows?
Mm.
Or maybe he got kicked out of his last school for
For
sex
sex
criming
For
a
criming?
sex
different girl.
criming.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
seems like
Yes.
the type of kid they send to boarding school
Yeah.
as well.
He seems like the kind of kid that they should just send to the
To
chokey.
the chokey. Yeah,
Like,
it's been
I can't
it's
believe I'm advocating for that,
you're
but
advocating, but he's like a 17-year-old dude. Okay, throw his ass in the chokey. He's big as hell. He'll be
he's
fine.
making his choices. He knows what he's doing. It's not sneaking M&Ms in class. It's sex
Mhm.
crimes.
Yeah. No, precisely.
And I mean, so one thing that's mentioned, speaking of age, is that like Sean is an adult and Peter is still underage. And I know that the drinking age in Canada is 19. Is that also the legally tried age, the legal adult age? Because
No, Peter's just only 17.
but like that after in this country, most of the areas in this country, I've researched this and I've also watched a lot of Law and Order, which is a terrible resource. Um, most after 13 years old, you can be tried as an adult. They can round that ass up
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah,
try
but
you as an
I'll say
adult.
that from body cam footage. I not only watch tons of YouTube body cam footage of arrests and stuff, but I also watch detectives doing interrogations of murder suspects. Like
Mm.
actual video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once you're, 15, 16, 17, like there's a true possibility of like, charged as an adult, tried as an adult.
But
Mm-hmm.
Peter is 17 and affluent.
Oh yeah, no, he's a
Yeah.
white male who has money behind him.
Like
Yeah.
Sean probably would have been tried as an adult if he were 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because I'm like wondering if Canada doesn't do that where they round up, and I think the likelihood of that is low.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that Degrassi really gets into the nuts and bolts of the legal system so much.
They really tried not to. They're like, we're just going
Yeah.
to depict roughly what happens if you do bad shit.
Yeah.
Just enough to scare your ass.
You go away, but you get to go bowling with your cancer friend for one weekend.
You
if you're
get
good enough.
compassionate release.
Exactly.
15 years later.
Compassionate release, that's what they call the conjugal visits. Right? Oh, see, this is bad because you're both laughing, but like silently. So it seems like you didn't like my joke at all.
We're
but
just
you were
like,
both
no, it
laughing
just-
silently.
It just was like
really-
it got me in a wave and then it hit me again.
Yeah.
Because I had to think about it and then I thought about it again. I was like, oh, that is clever.
Yeah. So
well, yes.
so let's just say Peter's awful, Emma's worse,
Mhm.
and Sean, I don't know. He gave himself up in the end, which was the smart thing to do. I don't know who's taken. I mean, he's taken his advice from Jay.
He's taking his advice from Jay, and like, so one thing I look at body language a lot because that's one thing that some actors don't consider. Some people are very physically funny or like they act with their entire body. The actor who plays Peter, I think he has a thing that he does where he likes to like shuffle on his feet and like rock on his toes when he's trying to look frantic, which for some reason he is called to be frantic quite a lot. But right after they jump out of the car, he like, pulls his car over to where the jogger, who is jogging in such a heavy plasticky looking. I'm like, these suits, thank God. He should have been wearing reflector tape. But he like shuffle. He's like, "What do we do?" And he's like, "If you guys could see me, like," he's like, just like, and he's wearing these Adidas that now everybody are wearing different Adidas. They're like the Sambas, I think they're called, is the brand, is the type of shoe. So it's like this could be any random like awkward guy today. Like it just translates. Like I've seen this before, the shuffling, and the body acting was so in contrast to the actor who plays Sean and the actor who plays Mike. Because when when Jay pulls up, he's like, "Is that a dude on the floor? Is that a dude on the floor? Shit!" It's all very silent, and he just runs. It's very good.
All right, here's what needs to happen.
Right, like, you get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And Peter the Miner is gonna stay right. No, it's very. You can tell who, and I think maybe that's why it can be hard to watch Peter, because the acting is not always great.
Well, and I just feel like he doesn't really bring Sean down or Mike, but and if anything, they bring him up a little, but like he brings Emma down.
Yeah.
He's gonna bring his next girlfriend down. He's gonna bring his next girl. He brings it down.
He just brings it down.
What was Jay thinking though, too? That Peter was gonna like be quiet and like cover for Sean, the ne'er-do-well who he just planted drugs to get kicked out of school.
Right.
Like that anonymity of Sean taking off, it didn't solve anything. Like the next we see, it's like, Snake's
the
like,
cops
Sean
are looking
left.
for Sean.
Like, yeah, exactly.
They know what happened because literally Peter walked up in there and sang like a canary while he was sitting on a padded chair waiting for his daddy to come get him.
Yeah, saying the guy that got kicked out of for drugs thinks that I did it, so he chased me in my car and then he hit a guy. Like it's so yucktastic. And then you have Sean, the only like truly decent character with some morals, who gets out, checks on the guy right away, calls the police, calls the ambulance, and like wants to stay. And then it like the whole thing of him, it's just like but this is also like, and this is me watching it, of course, as an adult for the first time, but it's true that, when people say, if I knew then what I knew now, because you look back and when you're not sure as a young person of what to do, you take advice from other people, not knowing if they know anything either. Right. And so you see people like someone good like Sean getting fucked over because it's like, well, I'm from the wrong side of the tracks. I'm dumb. I don't know anything. These people must know better than me. So I'm going to listen to them, when really Sean has the character and the morals and the ethics to do the right thing that would serve him throughout. But when you don't know that, and it's a yucky bummer.
I mean, Sean's hard because Sean is a good kid at heart.
Yeah.
He's proven himself to, like, despite his circumstances, be a good kid.
Yeah.
And even despite the people that he chooses to hang out with, he definitely, for me, it's like, it's hard because, like, I know that, especially I believe at this time, Jay has good intentions, but Jay doesn't really know, like you said, what to do. And what would he do in that situation is get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, like that's the thing. In that moment, Jay has really good intentions, but
Mhm.
he's such a crumb bum. I'm sorry to use that kind of language, but he's such a yuck ball. You know, he doesn't
Okay,
know
that's
the right thing to do.
that's
Too
a
Anything.
little
far.
too much. Like,
That's
yeah,
too far.
we'd
I'm
like to
sorry.
get sponsors at some point. You can't
I'm
talk
sorry.
like that.
I apologize. I apologize. I'll go to sensitivity training
Please do.
tomorrow. But so, because he is genuine, like he thinks he's figuring it out.
Yeah.
Peter's a minor. You've got to get out of here. It's like, no, that's the worst thing he could do.
Fleeing from the
Right.
scene of a crime, in case
that's
y'all
a crime.
didn't know, it adds a crime to the crime.
Yeah, exactly. It just exponentially.
Now you've
made it
got
worse.
2 crimes. 3 crimes.
Exactly.
Well, no, you had 2 crimes with the illegal street racing and the drunk, not the drunk and disorderly,
Well,
the reckless driving, I think it would be categorized.
and then add the breaking and entering into the bedroom of a minor girl. Goes into, which apparently anyone can crawl into Emma's like
anyone can
basement
just
apartment.
her basement window is just unsecured, and they're
And
like
everybody knows that.
Her
at this
every
basement window
point.
common
is
fucking
as-
knowledge,
it
and
is
literally
as unsecured as her chastity belt. It's just open
Jesus.
for business.
serious. It's bad the
Yeah.
way that they're just like, yeah, we're gonna leave our 17-year-old daughter, just 2 17-year-old in a basement, cut off from the rest of the house, with an easy entrance to anyone who wants to motherfucking drunkenly shimmy down there.
Yeah. That's how Amberly's gonna get in.
The Amberly's she's just gonna pick them all off. She's gonna pick off
Oh yeah.
Ellie's extended circle of
That's how
cohorts.
you know Amberly's coming to get you. She watches you for a really long time, and one time you just come into your apartment and there's a scrapbook on your bed. And that
you're
means
like,
it's like if you see the scrapbook, it's
you've
too
got
late.
7 days.
No, she's already there.
She's in your home and she's
She's
gonna
in-
cut your ankles.
Oh yeah.
Oh God,
She's in
why, Avis? You
That
don't gotta
scene
say
from
that.
Child's Play, I think it's like Child's Play 3, when he's in the military camp or boot camp or something, and he's sitting on his bed and someone Chucky's ass cuts his Achilles heel.
Why?
Oh.
It's because if I actually saw it, Caroline.
I've seen it in plenty of things. You don't have to say the words.
Oh, Plenty of Things. That's the one that really got me. I feel like that obviously it's probably been in other things, but I'm not. That
It
hasn't
was in
stuck with
Yellow
me in the same way.
Jackets.
Oh, that's
It's
true.
in Kill
That
Bill.
did just.
It's in
yes,
all sorts of shit.
That is in Kill Bill.
It's a good.
You know
it's
what?
A good movie, Kill
Okay,
Bill.
I said the most memorable one, but
I just like
It's me.
even the words like hearken, and I'm like, no, I
Hearken.
don't like it.
it's not good. It's not a safe situation. Do better. Do better, Spike and Snake. Stop trying to just protect your demon spawn. And get these
Yes.
girls a properly secured hatch into their fucking bedroom. Their dark ass bedroom. Not a
Right.
light on in that shit.
Emma
So
can sneak out and
unrealistic.
suck dick and get gonorrhea. That happened.
That
That's not a
literally happened.
hypothetical. That literally
Yeah,
That
exactly,
happened.
right?
You'd think that they take more care to like perhaps put a little
Manny-
one of those little things like
Like a
you know
grate.
those little beep beep things, so you know that there's an entry. At that time they had those. You could put it at the entrance to anything, and if it opened, then it would be a beep beep throughout the house, and you would know. And if the system was armed, then damn it, you just set off an alarm. Like
Yeah.
do something.
Manny got sex crimed because no one was like, she was downstairs. Nobody made sure she was downstairs. She knew
Mm.
she could sneak back in through the basement because the adults just are not paying attention to the basement of this house.
No.
They've got better things to do. Spike is trying to keep Jack from getting colic for like the 7th time. Snake is just settling back into his home and trying to tiptoe around the bitch as to not piss Spike off.
Mhm.
They've all got a lot of things going on.
Baby
Yeah.
Jack's picked up on that energy too. So like Snake can't help with Baby Jack. Baby Jack hates him.
Baby
He's
Jack
like, you
is
made
like,
mom mad.
if you come near me,
Mhm.
I will unleash hellfire upon you. Because I can do that because I'm the Antichrist. No, this is a shitty situation. My biggest beef with this episode is Manny having to go this hard to protect Peter and Emma's relationship.
What I love about it is when Emma like tries to deflect and be like, "You never liked Peter anyway," and Manny's like, "Yeah, still don't. Never
Yeah.
gonna fucking like this guy."
Well,
And
yeah.
and
Go
he
ahead.
was really good for you during this.
And clearly he played a role and he's just here now. And it's not like he's a shit bucket.
Yeah.
And Sean is chaos.
Sean
And-
is at the very least chaos.
Which is crazy because it's the complete opposite. Emma's the
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
but Manny is
Sean's
like
a
whatever.
project that Emma can
What's
do.
the common
No, I
denominator
know.
here? Emma's the problem.
Emma's the problem, but
Well, Peter's also the problem.
Peter's also the problem.
No,
but
they're all
if you
terrible, terrible people.
No, Sean's a
especially
precious
because
baby.
Sean
Not
just
Sean.
went and blew his life savings on
On-
earrings that Emma's like, how do I explain them to my shit bucket boyfriend?
I know.
He's like, I didn't think of that. I thought that you would just like the earrings and maybe break up with your fucking boyfriend. I don't know.
But to say, you're saying like how hard Manny has to go to protect their relationship. That's not really, I think, what she was doing. She's
yeah.
trying to keep Emma on an even keel so she doesn't anorexercise herself.
It just
And
yes.
and Peter was good for her during that, so she's trying to keep stability
right.
for Emma. Which is why like I liked it too. It's like, yeah, I don't like Peter. Never have.
I hate the
Never
show
will.
for making Peter equal stability for her.
Yeah,
I hate the show for that because Peter is literally he literally is like the opposite. He is the reason.
No, when she's like, I just need a little space. He's like, space for me.
He's like, you eating, Em? You eating, Em? You weren't at lunch this one day, and now I'm really concerned that you're not eating. And it's giving Ashley and Craig when like
no, it's giving like.
But
you're
okay, but
not
Ashley
giving me
had
the attention
more.
I want.
Oh, it's totally. He is very much like, I have no friends and you're except for you. Like, you are my life. I need you.
Yeah.
I don't have you. I don't have anybody. And I can't deal with that. So space is not literally the fact that he wants to like crawl up Sean's ass. I don't know why you would want to do that if you were thinking critically about the situation, even if you like this person.
Well, and why is Emma trying to set that up?
So she can be next to Sean and feel less bad about it. Because if it's Peter's idea, she doesn't have to feel bad.
She really did want to like have Sean be Peter's friend.
She initially did, but she also realized that would entail her to hang out with him too, because he wasn't interested in hanging out with just Peter. Like, Peter shoots a shot on that, and like I think that Emma realizes that if it's not her and him, then it's a no-go, because I think that something like he says like, oh, he was busy or something, like, and Emma realizes that like he's not just gonna hang out with Peter while I'm not around.
Yeah.
So Emma posts up with her knitting, and she's like, it's fine, this is fine, I can do this, I can just chill. But then he keeps fucking with her and talking to her, and she doesn't know how not to engage because she still cares about him. And she never really stopped. Peter just kind of was there and unavailable, and that's literally Emma's like type, it would seem.
She likes filmmakers.
Ew. I say this as someone who has made a film before.
Mm-hmm. Just gross. But that was also along with Paige saying, we need to get together, so you guys need to throw me a party. There's another just like bonehead yucky girl move when Peter was like, for my birthday, can we go to the races? And she goes, no, for your birthday, we need to have a romantic dinner, just the two of us.
No car talk.
Birthday. No, with no car talk. Exactly. I would have been like, bitch, it's my fucking birthday.
I like cars though. But I like cars though, right?
Yeah.
So why we don't do cars?
Well, why don't we
Peter do
what
cars
we
on
wanna
his
do?
birthday. Peter Ducourse on his birthday.
Peter's the birthday boy.
He's the birthday boy. This is a birthday boy hat on my head.
Exactly. And I was just like, oh, girls are gross. Like, I think they're just giving, like, looking at, again, from the bummer of me being at least age-wise, grown adult watching this. Like, it's the bummer for me thinking you guys, like, girls growing up on this, patterning themselves after these girls.
Oh dear. Yeah,
Do
there
you
were.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I
well,
happen to know the two of you. I happen to know the two of you in real life. You don't strike me as having patterned your lives, but like there's no like the lack of comeuppance for some of the horrible things done,
Mhm.
and just like you know, even just it makes me sad. I hope they kind of watched. I hope that you guys watch this kind of like reasonable people watch Sex in the City that were of this age. No, that were of that age group where you go,
Okay.
it's like a fairy tale. It's not like
Mhm.
real life. It's
Mhm.
not realistic that these certain women with those jobs could have these clothes and do these things and these
Mhm.
apartments and like all of the craziness. So I guess that's kind of what I'm hoping, because I was just like, bitch, it's his, like, he is a horrible sex crimey yuck face potato yuck, but it's his fucking birthday. If he wants to go to the races, go to the races.
Let his ass go to the race.
right.
Sit home
He
and
is the
knit.
birthday boy.
It is literally his birthday. How
And
dare
I-
you
yeah, and
make him
he's
go to a
horrible.
dinner party instead
But
of a birthday party on his
yeah.
birthday?
It was just such a yucky.
He's gonna bring me to a birthday party on my birthday with a birthday party at a birthday party for my birthday.
Emma said yes. Of course. Why wouldn't I do that for your birthday? I feel like it's a constant. So it reminded me of like, because Emma doing the sit down dinner thing, Emma and Peter doing, that's not something we've really seen them do.
Yeah.
The last time we saw Emma sit down and have a dinner date with somebody, do you know who it
It was, I'm going to be super racist and just say the black kid,
was?
because I don't remember his name.
The black kid,
Okay.
Jesus, it's I mean,
what was his name? I don't remember his character's name.
Chris Sharp.
Chris Sharp,
Yes,
yeah.
Chris Sharp.
It was generic.
Yes. Yeah,
It
exactly.
is very generic.
But is
I
that
know
true?
like
Is
3
that
to
the
4
last?
at any given time. I know like 3 to 5 black Chris's. So
Yeah. Well, in the white community too, it's like if you're a Mark, a Matt, or a David, get a nickname, or I don't care.
a Mark, a Matt, or a David get a
Yeah,
nickname.
get a nickname. Get a distinguishing feature. So you're like, oh, Beardo Mark, or Mustache Mark. Otherwise, I'm not going to bother. But
That's
that was
true.
when you said that, I realized that is the scene that I pictured, with them sitting there talking, getting
Having
to know each other.
milkshakes.
I mean, no, I peace and love to that actor, but I didn't think he was a great actor.
Sorry to
And-
that man.
Yes, I guess he is a man now, huh? He's probably like 40.
He's a
You're gonna come
man.
find me.
It's not good. Chris is no, he's not
Chris
good.
is
And then
so
they decide to
forgettable.
like literally make him an asshole and like slut shamey, and it's just not good what they decide to let him go out as. And it's like, you ruined him. Whatever was good about him, which was very little, you ruined him.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like, and I fear, even with all of those points, that she had better chemistry with that man.
Yeah, no, it was at least it was like, you are a person that seems interesting to me. Let's sit and talk and get to know each other. And that was fine. And
Emma literally has
Yeah.
no idea why she's ever into anybody other than the fact that they're like interesting looking
yeah, I mean, it's one thing
or
to have a crush.
delinquent.
Yeah, it's one thing to have a crush on somebody, and then another to continue to need to after he sex crimed your friend. So I just like, there's
That would dry me up. I don't know about you.
there's
Yeah,
no, yeah, I know. There's just no There's just no. Hey, there's no accounting for taste in Canada, I guess.
I love when I get things that I said, like catchphrases. I'm like, oh, I know what that means now. And I feel my brain is grown since I first heard that little expression. But yeah, this is a very forgettable couple. Unfortunately, they don't want us to forget. There's still more of them.
Yes.
And I feel really bad. My biggest beef is just what they force Manny to do. They force Manny to defend through by way of defending. They're trying to keep Emma on the stability path. It ends up coming across as like, Peter is what's good for you right now, and Peter, you need to get back and better, and Sean is just the goddamn worst, and you could do so much better. You have Pete, and it's like, well, I would rather her be with Sean because he didn't sex crime anybody.
Sean's a good guy.
Yeah.
He
Sean
just
literally saved her life.
Sean literally saved her life. He literally has the times that he's left the show. He has left the show to deal with his trauma as a result of being almost shot and responsible for, at least partially responsible for someone being shot.
Can I just say too that I think that, like, yes, Sean saved Emma's life, and that's significant because they have history. But I feel like Sean saved Emma's life because Emma's life was the one that was in danger. Like, it could have been anybody else in that hallway with him. And no questions asked. Sean would
Emma
have
just got
been
her
like,
ass on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been the same. And I mean, honestly, Paige and Sean don't even interact. But if it would have been swapped, and like Emma had to diffuse in the cafeteria and Paige just happened to be walking by, it would have been the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
although I don't know that Emma would have been capable of that. Especially in a room full of people, because as we know, Emma only likes to apologize when there's one person around, and that's the person she's apologizing to. She's like, I need no witnesses for this.
Well, I mean, in grade 7, she got absolutely torn to shreds by Liberty when she apologized for an honest mistake. So I get Emma not wanting an audience.
Emma's like, and
go
since
back
that
to
day,
saving whales, because when it comes to saving people, you suck.
Emma's like, she really cooked with that one, and I'm gonna need to just take a breath. I'm gonna need to take a beat and just think about that. It was not good. It was not a good day to be Emma. On the receiving end of that zinger.
I remember thinking that, like, dude, Liberty, mellow out. Like, I don't. That's when I was still
take
like
a chill
Terry.
pill.
Like, no, Liberty is reasonably upset, even if she's not dealing with it in the most reasonable of ways. But Terry's the asshole. I don't care what you like. Terry like gaslights Emma into thinking it's her fault. Emma went to Manny.
Like, you started the rumor, Emma.
No.
It was you. I heard it from you. You started it. No, bitch. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
No,
You've repeated it. You repeated it. That's
like
how
gossip.
it works. That's gossip. You overheard something and you repeated it. That's gossip.
Yes.
Like, Terry, I fear you don't know what a rumor and being culpable for the starting of said rumor entails. That is very true. And how bold of you to say gaslighting, because Terry was sweating. Her back was hot. And she was just like, I just overheard and repeated what you said. You started the rumor, Emma. I would have never had that info if it wasn't for you. So no, I hope you're proud of yourself.
So in the end, Terry deserved what she got.
Your mom's podcast does not condone domestic violence.
I'm just saying, man, is karma karma or not? It's just it's
Avis,
pretty
your
awful.
face right now.
What? Oh, Avis's face. Well, that was one
Pineapples.
of my
Can
favorite.
we hear? Can we
That
hear
was
anything
that
going
was.
on in my background?
Oh
A
yeah, I
little
can
bit, but
totally
it's
hear.
it never carries over. It never carries
No.
over.
Yeah,
I
Elby's
hear-
like, oh yeah, I
I-
can totally hear that.
I hear urban music.
You hear urban music indeed.
Yeah. But that's it's also that concept of the short, just as long as we're talking about Terry for a moment, you know, the concept of the short memory leading to ridiculous folly, which again is what you need for the show. But it's like the same idiocy that has Emma going, I don't see why what Peter's ever done that would lead me to believe he could be capable of planting drugs in your locker. He's only been the best sex crimey to my best friend boyfriend I've ever known. Is the same way that, you know, when I can't remember the character's name who ended up being the Columbine wife beater is what I call him.
Rick?
Yes, Rick, who was Terry's abusive boyfriend,
Oh Jesus!
right? Going back, and then he was the school shooter. But like everybody was mean to him because they knew he had beaten Terry into a coma. And then it was like, were there any signs that he might do something like this? And it's like, yeah, remember the girl he basically killed and put in a coma? That was a sign of a problem with him. But it's, you know, I felt like
Radich was just like, come on back to good old Degrassi.
yeah, like
Degrassi
there's
Junior High.
Yeah, not good. Not a good choice. If there's any hot take, it's why were his parents pushing him back into Degrassi? Or why was his mother? Because his dad is a traveling salesman.
yes.
Why was his mother pushing him back into Degrassi? Why is Radich not
Because
like
she didn't want to have to drive him to the school that he would have to go to.
Yeah. Oh no,
like,
I don't know.
Get away from my son, all of you! I have to drive him down the street.
Maybe he'd already been kicked out of all the other local schools.
Get away from my son, all of you! I have to take him to the administration building.
She's a very serious lady.
She's a very serious lady about like all the wrong shit.
Yeah.
Like, why are you like fuck a commute? I will send my child wherever so that they are not in another school where they were bullied and literally involved in a fucking domestic altercation. Maybe you need another school setting.
Unless he had already put a girl into a coma at every other local school.
Just leaving ladies in comas in his wake.
What if his crimes against Terry were actually like the best of his behavior? So he had to go with Degrassi.
They're like, we have to give this kid an education because it's Canada. Fucking socialism.
We've got to give this kid an education.
Well, and that's what I was telling. I told Caroline, I go, that's my favorite. Like, you know, I kind of watch TV like Mystery Science Theater 3000 and make jokes back to the screen. And in that episode where Emma goes to Rick, like, you know, why did you come back here? And he goes, I liked Degrassi. And I said, the girls are real easy to punch. Like, there's no reason he would ever go there.
Literally none.
But, you know, but at the same time,
to it.
well, but at the same time, I will say, because what we've talked about is how these 22-minute bite-sized pizzas and things have to go from 0 to 100 in like 2 lines of dialogue flat, and there's no real arcs. You did have at least enough of a reason for this kid to feel alienated to go to that school shooting level. So it kind of does make sense now that I'm really talking about it.
We watched that episode with our moms.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we were just like,
they
trauma.
had, like, that was their first episode, right?
Oh
yes.
God.
And they watched it completely out of context. They did not do the homework like you did.
They did no homework. Our moms
None
were just like,
whatsoever.
we are rolling up here to talk about the most
And
controversial
our moms
episode
were
with
more
no
mad
context.
about the bullying and the
Yes.
lackluster response to the bullying.
Which
Yeah.
was a big thing that was like in the school climate when we were in school, is like end bullying and like stomp out bullying and like all of the do you say gay? Do you realize what you say? Knock it off propaganda.
That's so girl wearing a skirt is
Shirt
a
is a
top.
top. Oh, you are.
Oh my god.
And it's like, did Hillary Duff end homophobia? I think so.
Yes, happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
It'll be July when this airs. First
It
week,
will be
but
July. It will be July 1st. But we are recording
July
this
2nd.
1 month from my birthday. My birthday is in exactly a month, July
Ooh,
6th.
That's
So
sexy as fuck.
I know. It's very much like I feel like there is just that whole like nationwide campaign. Like, we need to stop this bullying that ran rampant in our schools, that some of the teachers and administration participated. We need to stop and set forth a new culture of acceptance and tolerance. And yes, they were definitely affronted. They were like, "Say ain't nobody gonna do nothing." Nobody gonna do it. They just threw a young man in the trash. No one's going to do anything about that. No, they're not. They're going to put him on the the trivia team. That's what they're going to do with the dude who just threw him in the trash can.
Mom, Terry would have done something about it, but she hasn't regained the ability to walk yet.
Terry's
That's what you
still doing physical therapy.
Yeah, she just kind of got swept away.
She literally did. It's like how they did, what's her name from Degrassi High? Not L. No, she has a name like that.
Oh,
though.
LD.
LD, thank
Yeah.
you, LD. And they're just like, LD, her dad decided that life is just too goddamn short. So he sold their house and they're sailing down the River Phoenix and they're going to just explore everywhere. And this is for you, LD. Hi. And it's like, if y'all don't stop fucking playing with my girl LD and bring her back. They just were like, cancer. Bye.
Yeah. She had a cancer summer like Emma's
anorexia summer. I not a brat summer, not ideal,
No, exactly.
Not ideal at all. Yeah, it's the way they just decide to like give a traumatic, disease or injury and then just like bye, go see the world now, not on our show.
Anyway, back to the now. We went back into
little DH Degrassi High.
Did you notice, Avis, that Jay said bummer times again? And he said bummer times at least.
He did.
He said bummer times at least you'll sleep better knowing you fixed that problem.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to point out that this is the episode where we get if fun were people, I would be China.
Yeah. I put that in my notes because I'm like, this literally fits nowhere. It's not a shots fired. I'm upset that she said it, but she's upset that she's like, yeah, I'll go with that. That works. Mm-hmm. She like nods it like, no, it doesn't. You just blurted that out, and I'm just proud of you that it's a sentence that sort of makes sense.
Maybe she meant that she won't respect anyone's human rights.
I think that's what she meant.
I think that holds more true for Emma.
I have a problem with when Sean pulls out his schematics and he's like, and Emma like leans over the hood. He's like, Cameron's custom cars, and she's like, let me look, and she like puts her hand next to his hand, does not look, and it's like, I think it's gonna be amazing.
Touches his pinky with her pinky.
Looks at nothing, does not look at the schematics. I think it's gonna be amazing. What about it is gonna be amazing, Emma?
Yeah.
Well, do you expect Emma to
Ugh.
be able to read those schematics?
She didn't even try. She barely glanced at that shit. She
Oh,
was looking at his pinky more than she looked at those schematics.
it's just so gross. Don't they have class? Don't they have
His
any
pinky
homework?
is more buff than Peter's arms.
Jesus. And the way that Peter's like, yeah, I'm gonna just
Because he was
like
doing pinky bicep curls. Urgh.
it
Sean
is
works out every muscle.
it is such a cringy thing that I just got a flashback of. Okay, so how he is so like, I want to dress like Sean because he's my new best friend.
Mm-hmm.
I did that before, and I mean, this girl ended up going on to be my best friend, but like, I was like, you're wearing a jean jacket and a mini skirt, so I'm gonna wear a jean jacket and a mini skirt. At first, I'm like,
Yeah,
Peter,
but
what
I
is
bet-
wrong with you? But then, like,
I bet you looked cute in a jean jacket and a mini skirt. And Peter did not look cute.
so you know those bandeau skirts?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only reason they worked, because I actively avoided mini jean skirts because I don't really like jean material. But I also had semi permission. This girl also gave me her clothes. So it's not like I was just like popping up like, hey, we're wearing the same clothes.
Oh, yeah.
We were in college together and I was like, I like the way you dress. I want to dress like you. And she's like, well, we're best friends. So, you know, before you're actually best friends when you say
Yeah.
that shit. And just letting me frolic in her wardrobe. And so I did have semi permission, but it's giving like single white female.
Yeah. No, Peter. And that's really when, like, when I said he's like code switching, like, he's in this whole, like, weird, just vernacular and dressing like, it's like, what are you trying to be? It's not even what they are.
Right.
It was just so weird.
And that's why it is weird, because it's like with Sean, it's so, number one, it's so effortless. It just is. That's how Sean has been dressing
Yeah.
since at least season like 3, 4. He just loves himself. Oh,
He just
three, I
is
think.
himself. But like when Peter's like, dog, we're gonna soup up this engine hardcore, aren't we, yo? And Sean's like,
Right.
yes, we probably
we
will.
probably will do that.
We'll probably
Just
let's
that.
work on this car after school. Like there's no there's nothing in that group of, you know, mechanic thugs that Peter is actively emulating. So I
No.
don't so it's just really hard to take.
It's
too.
weird. Yeah, it's like, where are you getting the hip hop
Yeah.
out of this? That's not where,
Yeah.
honestly, that's not where Sean ever really came from with it.
No, not at all.
And Jay is certainly not that, but I just love how nobody's wearing sleeves.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I love the
Especially,
back and
yes.
forths between Jay and Peter. Like when
Yes.
Peter's like, oh yeah, what's
What
this
is that?
called?
What is this called?
What is that called? Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
brilliant. That was a brilliant first grade argument. Like first grade playground recess argument.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is that
Absolutely.
called? You don't know about handball. What's that called? The backboard. Oh, maybe you
Oh.
do know something.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
Yeah, no, because I love Jay, and I love Jay being mean to Peter. I'm into
Jay being
it.
mean to Peter is hilarious, because Peter just needs somebody to be mean to him. I'm sorry. He needs it. He needs a reminder of where he stands in the world. I appreciate that they give us Alex, even though they literally just give her like a line, but they're like, stand there and look pretty, Deanna. And
She's perfect.
like,
It's
she's
fine.
like, got you. And she does. So that's,
Yeah. I feel like she was like, after the, big lesbian romance of season 5.
she's taking a break.
Well, she said, I gotta figure out my stuff for myself. And that's what she's doing. So she's hanging out with the but she's not dating Jay anymore. She's like, I'm
No,
out of
but
the
they were
closet.
together a
she's-
long time. He's her friend.
No,
She's her
exactly.
friend, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. She's being herself. She's not compromising herself to fit into, what her role should be. She's just herself, hanging out with those guys now, which is like totally cool.
Mhm.
Looking
Yeah.
hot at the race, the illegal
Yes.
street race.
She does.
Mhm.
She definitely does.
She does. Yeah. I have no doubt that they were just like, we need a flag girl. Who are we gonna use? Why not
Can't be
Alex?
Manny.
Cannot be Manny. Should
Oh
not
my
be
God.
Manny. Manny needs to do some other shit. She started to carry that big ass backpack.
She's probably waiting for Emma to kick her out.
Carrying all of her fucking clothes on her person, which is like 3 items of clothing since she was forced out of her house without even a toasty sandwich. Very much not a good era for because you have the time when everybody just was like, oh, I don't want to wear a real backpack. I just want to wear this tote bag that my mom uses to go shopping. And I'm gonna literally give myself rotator cuff injuries because I have to put all of my shit, all of my textbooks in this tote bag.
But it's fine because I won't
But
have
it's
to deal
fine.
with that. For
My
10, 15 years, really.
10, 15 years, and then you're just like, why the fuck can't I rotate right? Why is there pain there? Why is there scar tissue? No, my favorite era was the messenger bag era. And I think that's where Manny accessorized the most. She had her little cute keychains and stuff hanging off of it. She was still in her cute era in that time. But it's like, at least the weight was evenly distributed. Now you've got a Nerdburger ass backpack on with padded straps, and it's just not Manny. It's just not fashionista.
You have to be prepared to be kicked out of
You
Emma's
have
life
to
at a moment's notice.
and support all of your trauma plus your toiletries
Exactly.
as you hike home. Because
Which we're gonna talk about the fashion specifically, or
Yes,
are we gonna
that's-
okay.
Yes.
that's kind
Do
of
we
a
have
good
anything
segue,
more to
right?
tell? Yeah, if anybody has any more to say on the A plot.
A plot, yeah. Anything?
This has
Honestly,
been a bit of
yeah.
a long winding road.
It
you know.
has. Haven't you enjoyed it though, guys?
Always. I always do.
I don't. I mean, honestly, I just do not align with Pete or Emma.
No, we covered
which I stand by.
everything that I had made notes about.
Mhm.
Like either you guys brought it up, or or I just got to put out into the world that Amberly is probably a real person, a real serial killer, and you should watch out. And if you see a scrapbook on your bed, it's too late.
I did have one thing that Marco said that is not a shots fired, in my opinion. It's just kind of racially insensitive and could be a larger conversation about Gwen Stefani's menace to our society in particular.
Mhm.
How he says, when I believe these are characters that go on to be their roommates, Kiko and Suki. I think that's Kiko and Suki, but I'm not 100% sure. But 2 young Asian women leave from being interviewed by Dylan for roommate vacancies, and he's like, we'll let you know, whatever, and they leave. And then Marco's walking in and he says, wow, did I just walk into a Gwen Stefani video or something?
Oh, geez. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I didn't consider it a shot fired. I more considered it like, that's fucking rude.
What does that mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Did Gwen Stefani do something that was full of Asian ladies? Or
she
what?
tried to fucking trademark Harajuku girls
For like a minute.
for
It was like her identity.
She had this album called Lamb, Love Angel Music Baby.
Okay.
And I think that was the start of her obsession with Harajuku culture and all of
Okay.
that. And she just surrounded herself with Asian women that were of that aesthetic for a long time, at least several years.
Well, and wasn't
Okay.
it like it was like 5 women all the time, right? Like she had her posse and they were the same
I
women. And
think
they
that
had
they
all
were
these rules
names.
they had to follow.
Yeah.
She gave
Yes.
them, or maybe it was 4. Were their names?
Yes, I
Love,
think
Angel,
Love, Angel,
and
Music, Babe.
Baby.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
God.
yes. Yep. She is an
Okay.
appropriator of culture on like a grandiose scale. Like she had me convinced that she was Cholo for like a long time.
Okay, got
She
it.
did that
All
song
right.
with Slim Thug called "A Luxurious," and it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay.
It wasn't luxurious in your
It
opinion.
wasn't luxurious. So yeah, that was just like, damn, this is a very 2000, I think we're at 6 joke. This is not a good joke. No. But
I'm
yeah,
as
we
hungry
can.
as Paris Hilton looks.
Oh god, that is one that was said last season.
Was it last season or season 4? I think it was season 4.
What was the
I think
Yes,
Paige says it
yes,
after her
yes.
trial.
Yes, I think you're right, and that it felt like yesterday, but that was not yesterday.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a thing that was said. So I think on that lovely note, we can go forth to talk about the fashion.
Fashion corner time. Sorry.
I don't really have any specific, like, I just have an overall comment, and I've put together some screenshots, which I can show you, which I know the listener cannot see, but that's
Well,
fine.
we post them. You'll have you
okay.
send them to us, and we have Tawny
Okay.
post them on the socials. So if you have commentary, why don't we start with that?
Okay. With me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So at the very start of the episode, when we see the valet, they're outside the restaurant and the car pulls up and Peter's dad says, he goes, "It's the wrong car." And he goes, "Yeah, no, it's yours." I was expecting the woman that was with them to take issue with this grand car that the father had bought for the son, because I thought who was with them was Peter's mom. I thought Emma was Peter's mom.
Well,
and
that's
and Manny and Emma look 45 years old apiece in this thing, and it's really skeevy. I'll send you the screenshots, but like I thought that's what the scene was gonna be, like the divorced parents and the mom going, "You're spoiling our kid. Don't you know he's a sex crimer? This is why he thinks he can get away with it." And instead, when the female in the scene started to jump up and down like super excited, and then they did a closer shot, I was like, "Oh my god, that's Emma." Full on thought it was the mom. I do have a screenshot that you can post where I put together side by side a picture of, it's Emma and Sean talking, and then it's Emma and Hatsalakis walking down the hall to get the weed out of his locker.
Yep.
It is, and it's just like super gross. And in the same way, when Manny's, during Manny's, Herculean effort to keep Emma away from Sean, and they have a little interaction in the classroom, and then Sean walks by and kind of bumps into her, and he gets startled. So he gets startled. Look at my picture. I think it's because he doesn't understand why Demi Moore's mom is in his class.
Demi Moore's mom.
Like, and it's just, that's who's in his class. And part of this again is what we mentioned before about it being like heightened, it being soap opera, it being, but the focus so much on on those aspects of the characters and stuff. And that's also what happens though when you're on a show, and a successful show, and the actors get older and they want to look. It happens in real life too. But like this season, like I 100% full on thought that it was Peter's mother and Peter's father in the first scene. And I was just like, whoa. And I don't know, it's just yuckified. Sometimes you just wear jeans and look messy.
They
Right?
don't.
Am I a
Not
bummer?
at Degrassi, not anymore.
No, what
guess
you're not
they
a bummer.
don't really decide that Emma is going to be. So, like, I just think it's the fact that people were wearing those similar things in those similar age groups. And, like, she pulls off where she'll just wear flats. And I think that makes her look more young. Like, she wears those silver flats with a couple of outfits. And that was one of my fashion that I did screenshot, but like from far away, it totally looks like Hatzlackos. It does. And it's partially because of the way they choose to like style her hair as well.
Yeah, it's really like
why are they choosing to style her hair like that?
that's I think it's because maybe the actress wanted to, you have a glam squad at your disposal.
Mhm.
And because that's the way the show goes into this like heightened sexuality, which is like heightened maturity, although they
Mhm.
don't really go together. And I was just like, oh, it just like hurts me to look at them and like go like just go to like, I want to hose you both down, and then you're gonna have a sleepover and you're gonna watch like Ghostbusters and freaking some other movie that I choose, and you're gonna eat pizza pockets, and we're gonna wake up tomorrow and pretend that we're 16.
Mhm.
That's what I want, but I don't think that's what I'm gonna get. I'm guessing that's not what happens in season 6, episode 3.
No,
Okay.
unfortunately not. My first one is, I think it's like pretty much the first shot. It's Liberty. Like seafoam green
That's my first one
tunic.
too.
Yeah. I like that they give her some color. I really like that they do something different with her hair. It's not the straightness that they like to do, but they gave it some product. And it's like
The
curly.
shirt has a flattering cut too.
Yes.
It sits on her well.
It does. It's got
Here, LB.
Yes.
and her little bag. She knows she's the shit. Her little speed purse. And she's got like white. It looks like white or silver flats. They might be those sneaker flats, which were fun. But yeah, I like that they decided to dress Liberty well. And in that opening scene is Ashley. She's wearing like an off the shoulder pink longer I wouldn't say, it's just like a long shirt and mini vest and a black skirt with tassels on the bottom of it, which I think is very, very cute. And her hair is like stick straight, and she's got a matching black and pink purse.
And Darcy's outfit is cute.
It is. I really liked that style at that time. Like obviously a vest, like a layering was essential, but I liked her romantic, as I call it, like a romantic sort of vest, like it's giving like ever after. Like it's very it's got some whimsy in it, and I think that they fixed her extensions. She's got a heavy bang. It's works. Her queen bee, and I mean, even though I don't like Spinner calling her queen bee, I think it's also to establish that she is like now running the school or whatever, especially the way she's dressed. And she does not have the horrible green bag yet. She has like a silvery boho sort of.
Green bag.
No green bag yet. Thank goodness we are being spared. And her little ruffle skirt is cute. It's got like like maybe those are tropical leaves. No, it's tie dye. It's not tropical leaves. It's like tie dye. It's cute.
Emma's little pale floral
Yes, I love
ballerina
that.
dress.
I love that on her. It's like it was made for her. Very cute. The colors are nice because they don't always dress her this brightly. And her hair does not look Hatsalako-ish. And coincidence? I think not.
And I really like Manny's outfit in this scene too. It's like a red tank top under like a white kind of sheer top
Mm-hmm.
with just like jeans. And I don't know. I think Manny looks really cute.
Yeah. LB,
Yeah.
we usually go in like a rotation, or one of us will steal all of them.
No, you know what's funny is I didn't like beyond what I already bummed you out with that.
You're that observant. Okay.
Like I'm super. It's funny because I'm super not like. I mean, I did watch it with that in mind because I know you do this fashion segment,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of don't. I do remember when you pointed out like Liberty's mint green top. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And then I'm thinking, like, and she looks good. Like she lost the baby weight. Like she was really pregnant in real life. And like, you know, but I just I don't know. I'm not very fashion-y. Meaning I don't notice.
I think that's what I tried to do, because before, when we first started, it was like, oh, I've got to get everybody's outfit. But it's like, now I only really do the ones that I notice that like call to me. It's like, oh, I really love this. So, I mean, if nothing
Yeah.
called to you, then that's perfectly acceptable. There's episodes where I only have like one or two outfits. I
Yeah,
think that
no,
this
I
is getting
was-
into a good fashion point in the show where they start trying to dress the actors like people are paying attention. I don't know that they were doing
Gotcha.
that before,
Mhm.
because there's more fashionable shows that are coming out at this time that are making that more of a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just think like if fashion is something like if people are dressed appropriately for their
Mhm.
character and just in general, it's
Mhm.
something that doesn't really
Resonate.
it just doesn't call it. It's like a special effect is a great special effect when you don't know it's happening. You
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
but when there's things like prom night or like big things, then I always am like waiting for that and notice those bigger things. But in the
Mhm.
regular fashion, I was just so preoccupied with Emma
The
and
happenings.
Manny's 45-year-old heads that I
Yes.
couldn't. I didn't. And also, it's like, I mean, that's the thing too, is everybody on TV is dressed like way nicer. Everyone's
Mhm.
regular school day outfit is like a real life special event outfit.
Mhm.
And so it's like the dresses that chicks on TV just wear to school is like those would be for church. But
Yes.
Aria Montgomery would wear like $400 dresses to school.
That, I think, if we're going to talk about any teen show like breaking, like, okay, suspend your belief here, because these kids, like, they've got wardrobe money, it's
Yeah.
Pretty Little Liars, because you really don't see them outfit repeat. At least in this show, they try to have a little bit more grit and like, okay, these kids could actually possibly dress like this, to the point where they did not have a wardrobe department for a while.
Yeah.
But like this, I don't know, this season so far, it's like, especially because it's the first day, there are definitely some looks like Darcy. Her outfit, that's very fancy for Darcy. Like, this is a
Yeah.
first day of school outfit she had laid out.
But she looked just kind of nice and like normalish. It wasn't.
No, it didn't stand out.
It
Like,
wasn't. Yeah.
these things could have been bought new, or they could have been pieced together from things she already had. It didn't like.
Yeah.
It's not overly polished. And I mean, I think that's partially, it's like we're still in like okay, we're gonna dress kind of relaxed, like we're not doing a bunch of flashy clothing.
Yeah.
The clothes are like Like if you're gonna have a tube top, it's not gonna be a fancy tube top. It's gonna be like a regular spandex tube top. Like this, someone would wear this to school.
Yeah, and I think that's
Um,
what I realized in you even talking about this is that everything was pretty like reasonable and cool and nice and appropriate, or it
mhm.
would have stuck out to me.
Right. Nothing stuck out to you like, oh, that doesn't look like something someone from high school would put like own or
No,
be able to put together or whatever.
really just Emma and Manny's heads.
Yeah, they were like, you guys got a terrible, terrible haircut.
I did not like Paige's party outfit.
Paige's party out.
Oh,
It was like a pearly white, like
I'm trying to remember what it looked like.
Paige is not
satiny hair.
serving. Yeah, she's not. I
Mm.
don't know what it is, but they're not. They said we want to give Emma all of the outfits.
Yep.
This episode because it's about Emma. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stick by it. And they even honestly threw Alex was my next one. They threw Alex like this little number. Like hot damn. Why? Like I don't believe she wore
Yeah.
those shoes to school. But like it's a
It's-
very simple outfit. Other than that, I like that it's baggy. I like that it has those chains or like those chain straps coming down. And like I was saying, she's just wearing like a tube top, a red tube top, and big hoop earrings, and it's beautiful. It's flawless, and like that, it's very Alex aesthetic. While that looks like something Paige would wear, I don't know why Paige is wearing it. It doesn't look. It looks.
It looks like something she'd wear to like job day
Mhm.
or whatever.
She's leaning to like in the prep is. It's not the right kind of prep. I don't like it.
No, it's not right at all.
Um.
Whereas Ashley Kerwin, I
Yes.
think, looks really fucking
She
cute.
does
she
look
does,
very
she does.
cute. I agree with
I
that at the
agree.
party. We have Darcy and okay, so the only thing I noticed about Darcy's party outfit, it's on my phone, is that she has this big ass chain? Question mark?
What? Uh-oh, from
It-
like her belly button to her wallet?
No, it's just this gaudy thing. At first I thought it was
Oh.
like a bathing suit. But then I'm like, is that a statement necklace? Cause gag me. It's disgusting.
It looks like one.
Maybe
yeah.
she made it at Christian Camp Arts and Crafts.
It looks like something she made at Christian Camp Arts and Crafts. It's not cute. And it looks so fucking heavy. And I don't like it. And I mean, of course, other than that, she's just wearing like a pink top. But yeah, no, Paige, and then she's got the bells. Paige has got the bell cap sleeves. It's not a cute top. It's not a cute top. And they did her, at least her hair looks good. Because her hair was the problem for like 3 seasons. It felt like.
I've got Peter and Sean.
As Bobbsey twins.
When Peter's wearing the like just the juxtaposition.
It's literally so like Peter bought his a size too small. While
Yeah,
Sean has
Sean-
bought his several sizes too large.
He picked those pants up off the ground this morning.
Yes.
It kind of looks like
stepped into them and pulled
it
them up.
kind of looks like one guy dressed straight and one guy dressed gay.
Mhm.
Like that's what it
Mhm.
looks like. It looks like
Yeah.
a
Peter
little bit of-
unintentionally is gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna get cruised and he's gonna wonder why.
and he should take him up on it because maybe that's what his truth is.
Maybe
and
that's
if
his
he
truth.
lives his truth, he will be a nicer person.
He would suck a little
I
less.
know. If he sucked a little dick, he'd suck a little less.
If
but-
he sucks a little dick, he'd suck a little less.
Yeah, because it's like Sean's got that like casual, clumpy, pick them off the floor, a little
Mhm.
oversized, and Peter's like
Mhm.
really like showing his slim physique.
Mm-hmm.
But the pants are too long.
They are, and they're not, and they're
Yeah.
too tight. So my next one is Emma. She's back to the Hatzelako's hair, but she's got on this really cute. It looks like pink, like bandeau style. Like she could wear this to a dance recital. Tunic and these purple like eggplant tights and white, not white, silvery shoes. And like it's
Yeah, no, I have the almost exact same screenshot, maybe even the exact same screenshot.
I think that
Jinx.
is the exact same. Do you have the guy walking?
Yep, she has the guy walking.
Yep. We were like, we got to get her because it's a full.
Let me
Look
see.
at us, twins. Yes,
Yeah,
we literally do. That's literally the same.
It really
That's
is right
crazy.
on.
Because
the same
like
second.
I'm like
They're the same picture.
they're the same thing. I'm like, I gotta get her carrying these 2 bags, looking pissed off. Like, why did I ever date this dude? I don't know, Emma.
I think it's a
why
cute
did
outfit,
you?
but it looks like it's a woman in her 30s outfit.
I would wear this going to the grocery store to run, and then I would probably do a
Right.
couple other errands and feel so cute the whole time, and then go home, take it off, and nap.
Yes.
Yep.
I like it. She looks cute. Again, except for her head, she looks cute.
Yeah, the hair. I'm like, why are they feathering your hair, dear God?
Yeah, it's just weird. It wouldn't be as weird if she didn't. I mean, she would still look inappropriate to me. She would still look made up to me. But the fact that I have Peter's mother's character to compare her to,
right,
not even to compare her to confuse her with,
to confuse
is
her
what
with.
really set off my whole thing.
It's weird.
It's a little weird.
So
but I liked her outfit.
I like the outfit too. It's if Hatsalakos wore that and like they had her strolling about, I wouldn't question it. It does
exactly.
Yeah.
But so I have a beef with Ellie in this in that I don't know what these shoes are. I thought that they were like
Oh,
I thought that they were sneakers, but they are.
Are they weird sandals?
Those are a bad
They're a
time.
terrible time. So in case you guys missed it and you thought that when Ellie walks in to the newsroom, she is wearing sneakers. You're mistaken. Those are her feet. These are sandals. But it looks to be that she has the bottom of a like a Reebok, and like the top with like there's a strap across her foot, and then there's like a strap. It's very bad.
They're upsetting.
And then she paired them with jeans to further confuse
and
us.
a weird like cropped vest.
A weird cropped vest. The vest is cropped in a very frustrating way because it's only cropped in the front, and then she turns around and she's got like a whole back of a vest. There's so much more vest in the back, so it's only half cropped. It's so.
It's the mullet of
It's
vest.
the mullet.
It's in the front, party in the
She's
back.
got so many layers.
Like an onion?
Like an onion. And
yeah, she did kind of like do a decided kind of 80s Annie Hall kind of a thing.
That's probably exactly what she's going for, and that's upsetting.
Yeah, and it's
Marco's rocking a vest too. Like, there's a lot of vests this episode.
I don't hate
feel
a
like.
vest. Darcy has like a vest.
I don't hate a vest either, but
like it's not. It's you gotta choose. You have to choose carefully. You have to choose carefully. I won't stand for it.
Are you saying she deserved to die by Amberly's hand because of her fashion choices?
Clearly, Amberly needed to take her ass out.
She might be.
I really did like though Amberly's like pink jogging suit outfit. She looked
And once
really
again, she looks like she's ready to go jogging with her. What does she call her? Graham. Thank you.
I push her wheelchair so she can feel the wind in her wig. We're very close.
Can we talk about Ellie's like denim corset dress thing going on? This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't hate it.
It's yeah.
But I don't like it.
Right. I'll agree with that. Another Emma outfit that I kind of feel like that about is this, and I think that this is just another Hatzalakos outfit.
Mhm.
Those jeans, it's like, jeans cannot fix all of our problems.
Yeah.
And we just put way too much on jeans' shoulders. You cannot expect a pair of jeans to redeem that ugly fucking top. It looks like, and it's like within the pinstripe neighborhood. If you look at the material,
Yeah, no, and the ruffles and the no, it's a
it doesn't
bad
fit her
time.
right. It's a bad time.
Because she spent the night at Peter's and stole it from his mom.
That's what it's giving you. I had to raid your mom's closet because I was running late for school.
It's okay. She wasn't home. Our parents don't love us.
Yeah.
They're never home.
around.
Oddly enough, she was sneaking into Emma's bedroom at that same time
just
to hook up with
throw
Cancer
everybody
Snake.
right, to throw everybody off the
Yeah.
scent. We got to do it in a different locale. But you already brought up the screenshot, LB, of when you were talking about Sean and Emma and Sean and Hatzalakos next to each other. And I was just looking, I had to screenshot it because her wingtips and her cuffs are huge. And I just miss when office wear demanded this level of like, look at me. Like,
Yeah.
I wore a lady suit today.
Yeah.
It is tailored well.
Yeah.
It's
beautiful.
tailored well. It fits her rather well.
You don't have to wonder if the cuffs match the collar. You can see it from down the hall.
You can see it from down the hall, indeed. Yep. Do I have any more?
She's something.
She is.
My last one is just Spike in this scene on the couch. Like, I don't know.
forgot
This
Spike
hair
was
is
in this
not it.
episode.
Yeah,
Be fucking
because you
real.
thought it was Emma's
Oh.
younger sister.
That's crazy, but it's
Yeah, wait,
You're
show
not
me that
wrong.
again. It was kind of mullety. She looking suspicious at her daughter. Like,
she's over. Yeah, she's like,
do you know
what?
you're
Like,
You
did
know
you
more?
hit that
Did
guy?
you hit that
Yeah,
man? Did you sneak out
exactly.
again and hit that
Do
man?
you know where Sean is?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that's my fashion. That's. I
Okay,
did notice
so-
something that is not a shots fired though, and
Okay.
I just got a screenshot of it. There is an M. McDonald. It's spelled with an A, whereas Miriam's name is not spelled with an A, but there's an M. McDonald Student Association. You see? As in Miriam.
Okay.
Interesting.
And then when Ellie is getting kicked out of her fucking dorm room, on the whiteboard of 309, it says, Sean, where you at? Waited for 20 minutes. Call me later.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Now we can move on into shots fired. Or no, we've got Black. No, we've got Hun and yeah. Oh right, we've got a Hun count.
Black Hole's kind of unofficial because she's a very big presence in this episode, and she's also just a plot device. But Amberly does come into our lives and then disappear so
She
quickly.
shines so bright to me.
She really does. Pour one out for Amber.
And so we never.
And then
see
we have
her again.
5 Huns. We are starting fucking strong.
Oh dear.
And some of these are going to be shots fired, but that's just how it goes. So when Darcy tries to start a fight with Paige, she says, "Save the drama for high school, Hun. I'm moving on." And then she says to Marco when he's like complaining about how the party sucks, she's like, "Hun, it was supposed to be fun." And then when Marco's all like, "Everybody's leaving me," she's like, "Hun, you have Dylan." And then when Marco's like, this isn't easy," she's like, or whatever he says, she's like, "Not for any of us, Hun. We are all looking into the big void of the unknown." And then she tells him, "I'll miss you too, Hun."
Aww.
The end.
The Hun count, is that what we go for?
Yep, 5.
What's the most that's ever been accrued
I
in one
honestly think
episode?
that's
one
one of the
episode?
highest.
Well,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
a
a
pretty high on
two-parter,
count.
so okay.
Still, Paige was only in one part of it. It really only counts if Paige says it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Nobody else ever says hun,
No.
but that's beside the point. Okay, so shots fired.
Pew, 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 pew.
Shots fired.
LB, did you make note of shots fired?
Yeah, just it's like going along with every girl in the school needing to have a big self-esteem seminar and how, she can quote spare some honey for her king, comma, anytime.
Yeah.
And then goes to Paige's party, Darcy does, to why you would go, I don't know. But just for and it's like she got all of her Christian anger together and came up with, I thought you were above being a low grade hoe.
Mm-hmm.
And and I'm glad that Paige just blew her off and that was the end of it, because I really I mean, if Darcy wants to be with Spinner for I don't know why, and he's allowed to do whatever he wants, and it doesn't matter if you go to Christian camp because you just are quote over it at the end of it. But so I just kind of felt like she just went in with her zinger, and Paige was like, no thanks, bye, thanks for coming to my party.
She didn't have shit else to say after that.
I know, but that was really kind of the only thing. Most of the other zingers were me saying it about the characters.
Avis, do you want to kick us off then?
Yes. I have Jay saying, "Easy there, Brokeback Mountain." He means he's sleeping on my couch.
Yes. I have Jimmy saying, check out our new classmates, serious mathletes. And then do you have the next line in there? Is that one of yours or no? So then we've got Spinner with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Not a serious one, but he shot his foot maybe. Well, good thing though, because with Marco gone, I got to copy my tests off someone.
I have Emma saying, I believe to Peter, please, Sean's got a tire iron for a brain.
Which is me. He saved your fucking
He
life.
really does. She's such a bitch to Sean.
Okay, I have 2 before that then. I have Jimmy says, looking fine, Miss Kerwin. And she says, well, someone's got to make up for Spinner. And then when Peter says that he thought this car would get him more props, and Manny's like, maybe if you didn't say props.
Yep. I have Marco. Sorry, my whole seat. I have the Marco, Ellie, whatever, Paige, and the other dude scene all out of jumbled.
Okay.
So I have Ellie saying, and when it comes to the matters of leaving the toilet seat up, yeah, no thanks. And I have Paige saying, and Ellie takes her coffee black like her soul. And Ellie asking Paige how many days until she leaves for Banting, not that she's counting. And Paige says, can you count to 2? Do you have any more from that scene, or can I just run it?
No,
okay.
Go ahead.
I have Marco saying, okay, Mom, Dad, relax. And then sweet Mother Mary, this is mud.
I have Jay saying Poindexter's in his daddy's car and he's waving at us. Explain.
I have Marco later at the party saying, pretend there's not a 200-pound Italian man laying on my floor.
LB already said it, but I have Hey Paige. I guess I'm the only one not sorry to see you
Yeah.
go. I know you had sex with Spinner last year. Thought you were above being a low grade hoe.
Yep.
Guess I was wrong.
And Paige's response, sweetie, I would love to indulge your need to ruin my party with a full-on cat fight, but save the drama for high school. And Darcy's just like clutching her big ass statement necklace and like looking foolish.
She says Jesus is
I
gonna hear
have-
about this.
I have Spinner saying to Peter when he shows up in that wife beater,
Mhm.
yo, Eminem, where's D12?
Yes.
Followed by Jimmy saying Degrassi's newest MC, Too White, Too Furious.
Yes.
And then also I'm firing shots at Peter for that outfit.
That is so fucking funny because that is literally my top 3. Look, and it literally says Peter's outfit. Peter's outfit. I don't know.
Kind of. It's
Yes.
very,
Yo, Eminem, where's D12?
reflecty.
Degrassi's newest MC, and then number 3 is Peter's outfit because what the fuck. I have Emma saying, stick to acting, Manny, because you're a lousy weather girl.
I have Emma saying I'm not some kind of slut, and then Peter responding with "could have fooled me."
Mm-hmm. I have could have fooled me. I think a couple before that, I have Sean saying, forget Ellie. I know who I want, and I think you do too. I have Marco saying, and hey, you have a roommate from yesteryear. Emberly's parents for naming her, Emberly calling Ellie for Eleanor, and the writers for making Manny defend Peter, Emberly for unpacking Ellie's shit.
I have Jay saying to Sean, "You're gonna let that little wiener beat you."
Right?
I don't know why. Maybe because there's something that happens in Ellie's future that makes this funny to me. But I have Jesse saying, if you're looking for free condoms, the health clinic is next door.
I have Ellie writing of Amberly, quote, "the Stepford Omarosa minus the looks."
I have, well, I'm firing a shot at Emma for automatically judging Sean and, assuming that his ass was dumb enough to bring drugs to school.
See, I thought I thought it was just, I didn't know we could fire shots at people, but I feel
Yes.
like I've done that the whole time. So, I thought it was just trying to find the, like, zingers, which all the ones you guys have chosen, they suck out to me too.
If it like called to you, because I feel like it's the permutations over the years of like what is acceptable, but it more is like if that hits you, like, damn. If you're like, fuck this person, I need to fire this shot. If you're like, fuck these writers, I need to fire this shot.
Yeah.
Straight line reads. All kind of fall under that.
Gotcha.
Generous
I'll know for
umbrella.
next time. But
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of my vibe with the whole thing. Like,
I think you've trashed it.
Yeah.
I think you've trashed the appropriate characters that needed to be trashed.
Yeah. My last one is, and it may be one of my most favorite shots fired ever, is, don't they teach you guy code in Wagga Wagga Bay?
That was funny. He got that. He had that one.
Yeah. He ate with that one.
I have a couple more.
Yeah, go
I
nuts.
have Sean saying, you know what, Emma? Go to hell. And I have Emberly saying, and sometimes black clad sourpusses get booted out. Sean has spoken, Eleanor. Give me your torch. It's the Survivor humor for me, because how gutting is it to have your torch snuffed? Hey,
it's the saddest.
It is. I have Peter saying, hey, you want to race me in that hunk of junk? You're on, bitch. And I have Emma saying, you're wrong, Sean. I don't care. I can't. Not anymore.
Yeah, right.
She's fucking lying. She cares so much.
Does she though?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you keep watching, it'll probably seem
The
that way.
significance of shampoo
So,
in their relationship.
honey coconut shampoo.
Oh gosh.
So who shines?
I will continue to stand by the fact that Manny was an A1 since day one.
I stand by Manny being a shining star this
Because,
week.
like, Peter is continually going to prove that he's a fucking trash can. And she is still trying to keep them together because she thinks that's what's best for her best friend. Even though that's literally not what's best for her mental health. Having to be around the dude that fucked her over and that did irreparable damage to her life. But,
Yeah.
because the internet is forever. They weren't telling us yet. Not the way they should have been. Not the way they should have been.
Yeah, I agree with
Not
that.
the way they
My
should have
footprint
been.
is terrible. Yeah.
I don't know that anybody else shines.
Everybody else has, like, Marco is annoying and he's barely there.
Yeah.
Ellie is annoying and there's just quite too much of her. I don't think she was right in writing that piece, and I don't think she was. I think that I'm glad she stood by it and she didn't retract it because the damage was done.
Right. Emma, everybody's a bummer but Manny.
Yeah.
Do you have any other shining stars besides Manny?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't really think so. I don't know. Baby Jack didn't rub me the wrong way this week.
For stopping Sean.
Jay.
I'm gonna give it to Jay.
Jay.
We didn't end up talking about that. You wanted to talk about that.
No, I was just like, I think I talked about it a little bit in the body language portion of like how they acted off of each other, but just that like Mike did such an amazing job. Like coming at like his presence in that scene was, as not even the person who was really affected by what was going on, was one of the more powerful, performances. Like I found the gravity that he brought to the situation with just like non-verbal acting was great. I'll take him as a shining star. He just,
I'm gonna give it to Jay. He doesn't get that often.
He really doesn't.
He was
he tried. Despite
he tried,
he really
was wrong.
thinks he's doing what's best for his friend, even though he's completely wrong. But his intentions are actually shiny starry.
Yeah.
So bummers that are bummer enough to be named:
Peter,
Sean,
Hatsalakos.
No.
Let's just get this over with.
I mean,
I'm just following up on a tip. Who tipped you off, bitch?
Yeah.
Who tipped you off? It was probably your dusty ass son.
How many weeks of detention do you think Peter will get for that?
He's on time served. You went to jail, honey. It's fine. You were in jail for 25 minutes. That must have been so hard for you.
That's almost a half
That is
hour.
almost a half hour.
Which
My baby was behind
basically an
bars. He was behind bars. Ma'am, he was sitting in a chair next to the bars. My baby was in prison. Yeah. I have to run the school, and I gotta run it with an iron fist. You're out for drugs.
Emma's a bummer, too.
Yes.
Emma's an unforgivable bummer.
Yeah, she does not add anything. She makes the situation so much worse. Multiple times.
I don't know that
Multiple
there's
times.
anyone on screen whose life she didn't make worse in this episode.
Spike is just sitting there like, she done fucked up my life a long time ago.
Yeah, Spike is like...
And she's been doing it ever since.
And she does it so well. Like,
yeah.
The accuracy. Spike is just done. Wait, what is that? What is that?
Where did Sean get the money for those earrings?
or customs Cameron's
Probably
customs
from the
cars.
money he's been saving for Cameron's custom cars.
Yeah.
He's willing to throw that all away for Emma.
Yeah.
I think this is a line from Heather's, but it's like my teenage angst has a body count.
Mhm.
And like that's it's like Emma's just
Yeah,
Emma,
right?
why Emma?
I just, yeah,
I'm blaming
It's-
her.
Oh,
It's her
Emma.
fault. You hear me? It's her fault.
I know.
It's all, it's all her.
That's what I want to see. That would be the greatest thing, to see the Joggers family sue Emma in court for
Oh,
being a yuck face that caused the accident.
you caused the.
If we're going to
whole-
get down to who's really behind this,
who
you need to look
Well,
no
that's like how-
further than this young man's mother. I mean,
Emma Jean
girlfriend.
Nelson.
Yes.
I mean, did you pick up on the fact that like the shooting really, when you break it down, is Paige's fault?
Yeah, well, no, she didn't want to take Rick. They convinced her to take Rick.
No.
Or was it vice versa?
No, it goes sooner or older than that, when she gets Terry drunk before the dance and fucks up her chances with Spinner.
Oh,
and it
yes.
fucks up Terry's confidence.
Yeah.
Then Terry thinks she's not worth shit, and she
And let's Rick.
and then the
Yeah.
Rick of it all,
Yes.
the rigmarole.
See, and that was so yucky. That's why I really needed to see some trauma behind Paige and where she came from, so that I could empathize with her as she learned and grew into a better person.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right.
Well,
It's,
you got to write your own headcanon.
I guess so.
It would seem that is the case.
Does it? Is it time?
Yeah, I think it's
for the final question.
yeah. Let's do it. Does it go there?
Does it go there?
Well, we've got
Yes.
a situation in which a person becomes a hood ornament.
Right, right. It's
So I think
yes, it goes.
I think
there.
it goes there.
Yes.
That poor
And
jogging
on top
man.
of that, we've got like infidelity.
We
and
so
serial killer.
we have like
roommates.
blatant infant. You just go home and leave me. How are you going to see me calling you and you're not pulled back to reality? You little bitch. You're not pulled back to reality.
You hit the fuck
You
you
hit the
button
fuck
and
you button
go
and you're like, you still hot for me? I'm still hot for you. Let's kiss some more. No, she's a piece of shit. Anybody with a conscience would see their person calling and at least be like, oh fuck, oh fuck, fuck. Emma's just like, where
Yeah.
something's wrong with her. Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes there.
I think it goes there in the hugely immediate poor decisions for the sake of, plot.
Yeah, just their team. It's just the plot of it all. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It goes.
Thanks for listening to your mom's podcast. Next week, we'll be visiting Sean in prison in True Colors. That man is in
LB,
prison.
Do you wanna locked up?
Don't let
won't
me
let
out.
Won't let
I'm
me
locked up. They won't let me
Won't
out.
let me
No. Okay.
LB, do you want to read our sponsored by?
Okay. Oh no, I gotta pick it up. I was looking at the. I'm always looking at the wrong thing. Caroline shared a document with the high belly button. Sorry, I talked to a dog. I know we're so. I totally I'm just hanging out with you now. Okay. This episode of Your Mom's Podcast was made possible in part by the Motorola Razr, BMW, and support from listeners like you.
Thank you. I do want to admit that I wanted that purple razor more than the pink one. And I actually forgot that existed. So that's another reason to not like Emma.
I had a purple flip phone, but it wasn't a razor. It was dark purple. It was super cute.
I miss when
It was something
the
LG.
colors,
when phones were so cute.
they were so cute. All right,
Okay.
bye.
Bye.
We would like to take a moment to thank our Patreon subscribers. Tay,
Evie,
Miranda,
and an extra special thank you to our TiddySnake producers, Alyka,
Brandi,
Chelsea,
Corrie.
and Tawny. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you guys. Love you.
If you'd like to further support our show, you can find us on TikTok and Facebook as Your Mom's Padcast. We also have a Facebook group of the same name. And you can find us on Instagram at YMPadcast. Your Mom's Padcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscriptions and reviews are another great free way to support us. However, if you're interested in supporting us in not free ways, we have a lot of great bonus content on our Patreon, and some great merch at our shop, which can be found at your-moms-padcast-shop.fourthwall.com. And remember, that's Padcast. PAHDCAST. Thank you.